Shut up and sit down.
We're off.
And away they go.
And away they go. Hello, folks. Colin here, Festa 67's workshop. And I'm joined by my co-host for the evening, Fox, the model making guru even, with Guffall, the roaming puffin.
Roaming pumpkin?
Yeah. Did you have a friend
Got
once?
Did I peas?
Oh, mate, I got peas for dinner, mate. Yeah, got other things to go with them, but yeah. But,
what, more peas?
Yeah, got more peas, Norma. Get all the pimpage out of the way, folks. I did pimpage for the show as well, wasn't I? Oh, good boy.
I know. I totally forgot. But
yeah, I thought it's useless. Mind you, you have been playing with your setup, so yeah.
I've been playing with my bits, yeah.
So, yes, folks, pimpage time. If you'd like to help support this channel and keep me content coming for your delectation, you can do so by heading over to patreon.com/Festa67's workshop, or you can click the join button below this or any of my other video content, become a channel member. That will give you access to the Zoom 24/7 off-air hangout. You can also pop over and support the guru at patreon.com/modelmakingguru, or click the join button under any of his video content. That'll also give you access to the Zoom, because it's a joint venture that we do, and you get to hang out with all your mates and just chill. You could also you could also get our attention in the chat by doing an @Festa67's workshop or an @modelmakingguru, which puts our name in a gold box. Or you could also support the channel by doing a super chat by clicking the $sign. That puts your comment in a nice big box of boxness, and you get a bit of on-screen air guitar.
Look at the box you larity.
Pimpage done, mate. Pimpage done.
Good girl.
In the chat,
at this.
in the chat, we have got me and Fox. We got you Gordon, saying hello. Hello, you.
Hello, you.
Got Retro Rabbit saying hello. Hello, buddy. How you doing? As well as Twisted Route. Andy McLeish is in. Good evening, Gawks and Moblins.
McLeish.
Andy says, model making guru, it's on your end.
It's on my end. It's on my end.
Yeah. He says, oh, damn, in front, it's starting. Absolutely.
It's starting.
Retro Rabbit says, Porg. Yeah, we are. Paul Lewis is in, says evening. Colin, Fox, Guffall, and all in chat.
At least Paul Lewis has spelled his name wrong, because everybody has spelled his name right, because he's the only one that's ever got Guthorm's name right. So Guthorm is exceptionally happy that you've spelled his name right.
Andy goes Mr. Lewis, and Paul says Mr. Mac. So that's the chat done, mate. So how are you?
I have some very important information before you do that.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
Big hugs and a kiss.
Oh, I was just about to say, how's Mum?
Yeah, big hugs. I sent you a message for Festa. She went big hugs and a kiss.
Oh, I'm made up again, mate. Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she looks after. Yeah, she looks after me. She does.
She does.
Bless her heart. Yeah.
But no, I'm fine. I'm fine and dandy. I think I've sorted out my camera problems now permanently.
Yeah. That's a strange one, isn't it?
Yeah, I was telling Colin earlier before we went live. A week ago when I was about to do my Iron Man stream, this very camera, started glitching and getting weird things on the screen. And I thought, so I uninstalled the software, reinstalled more software, fiddled around with it and got it working. Later on, it started doing the same again today, as I was about to do the Iron Man again. So I thought, the camera's on its last legs, it's obviously something's gone wrong. So I took the camera out, tried a different camera, spent an hour and a half before my stream sorting the software out. In the end, I had to use a different camera.
Yeah.
As a test, I suddenly had a brain, like when you've got a problem, like a situation, and there's one possibility that's not logical at all, brain goes, how about, my brain did that, I was doing something and my brain went, hey, you know what?
Was you sat at a jaunty angle, stroking your beard, going, I'm going to have a mole?
I'm not sure how I would sit at a jaunty angle without just being on one cheek. That might be uncomfortable. But it's a slightly jaunty angle, but it would be a persuasionary angle of faultness, wouldn't it? Yeah, perhaps leaning on the arm of my chair, rubbing my chin, like, pondering. Well, my brain suddenly went, how about, and it just came up with the most left field suggestion, right? Yeah. And what I found out was, this camera's an old one, the other one's a newer one. I found out that the entire cause of it for the camera glitching and going funky was nothing to do with the camera or my cables or my software. It was the blue drying towel that I have down when I do part works. I think there's just so much texture detail in it that it freaks out the hardware in this old camera.
Isn't that weird?
Because I put the towel there and it went, and then I moved it and it went,
So weird.
Yeah, which means about a year ago I threw away a perfectly functional Logitech C920 thinking it was broken.
Perfectly good camera's gone down the landfill and you're like, yeah, I so regret that decision.
Yeah, because I had 2 of them, but never mind. So hopefully it's fixed now. I'll just have to find an alternative for that big floofy towel when I'm doing my shiny part works.
Yeah, isn't that weird though?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know why I thought of that. I thought, could it be this towel?
But you've been falling out of StreamYard long before you've had that towel in there, haven't you?
Oh no, it's not. It's not the falling out of StreamYard thing. This was just glitchy, like.
Yeah, the old BBC test card along the bottom and the old flakety.
Yeah, flakety. I know what you mean though. That bit.
Yeah.
It's a universal symbol of flakety, which sounds very Italian. Hey, a flakety.
Exactly.
So my brain just went, how about? So that seems to be what it is.
I'm impressed.
So, yeah, I'll have to get myself something not textured and simple that's soft that I can do my part works on. Very weird. So I think it's just because it's millions of little fibers and it's all the highlights and lowlights and shadows and stuff. I think it's just there's so much going on screen. The processor in the camera is probably just balked.
Yeah, it's having to try and process too much info by the sound of it. Then.
Yeah. And the new one doesn't do that. Doesn't have the problem. But then again, the new one's got crappy software. So
isn't that weird?
Andy Mack says, camera problems, you still have your Streamlab issue to sort out too. No issue with Streamlabs, you're thinking of StreamYard. Anyway, so that's about it.
I'm impressed, mate.
Not been doing much this week though. Again, been lots of Mama Fox stuff all this week and other bits and bobs.
Yeah, I've been a bit tired this week with medical stuff, as you know.
Did you make the mistake of saying, this is my plan for the week, and then it all went to pot?
No, because I knew this lot was in the pipeline. So I didn't make no plans for this week, so yeah.
So what have you been up to this week? How's it been going? Have you got anything done?
Not really. I made an attempt at doing some detail up for the Wendy Hickson bike. But I had real bad shakes, as you know, during the week. And
yeah, picking
up microscopic 1mm rivets just was not doable. Yeah. So I did a bit of video editing and a bit of preparation for artwork for the gaming streams and bits and pieces. So yeah, I got on with other stuff, mate, to be honest with you, and took my mind off of it that way. So yeah, all good in the end, mate. Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're here with me now, and that's all that matters.
Exactly. You know, it's one of them, mate.
Yeah.
No point in whining about it.
No. Like I said before, it's one of those things. If you can't change it, knocking the microphone. If you can't change it,
I had a wine once.
I had a friend once.
I like peas.
I think mushy peas are far too exotic for me.
They're mushy. They're all squishy and mushy.
They don't sit well.
Are you taking the pea? Oh, dear.
There'd be no peas in our time.
So yeah,
right, what am I doing?
I'm doing a bit of decaling, as you can notice. Because I just, I just thought I'll do a bit of decaling there and finish where I was going with it last week.
Where were you going with it last week? You're going where you are now, but less.
Yeah, I'm just doing a little bit of the old hazard stripes on the edge of the gun up there. The chainsaw ward.
Chainsaw ward.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Chainsaw ward.
Yeah, apparently it's a chainsaw ward.
Ward.
Andy Preston's in says madness. Oh yeah, a bit of madness, mate. James is saying I found even my Brio webcam throws a fit if there's not enough light. It's all grainy and such. Yeah, a few people I know that have got Brios have said that they have similar problems. I was gonna get one, but I kind of thought, do you know something? At the moment, with using StreamYard, we're only streaming out X amount, whereas in the future, not saying how or when, but in the future, we are making a change
A challenge. Did you get all emotional then and get carried?
I did. I was trying to take a breath whilst talking, and it didn't work
Were
out.
you filling up?
Yeah, so we're going to be making a bit of a streaming change there, aren't we? Because I had an email during the week from our good friends over at Slobs, and straight away emailed Fox and said, "Are you aware of this?" And well, he came skedaddling down the street at 311 to 12 mile an hour.
I may have written
yeah.
like a 750,000 word reply to you in Messenger.
Yeah, it was good. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it's how you know I'm excited about something, because I just write rolls and walls of text.
But yeah, so we're going to be playing with that over the next couple of weeks. And once we get the setup where it's super duper and we're happy with it, we will start streaming using them tweaks. So yeah, so keep an eye out for that, folks. You'll get to see us in glorious HD.
Yeah,
even more better than you see us now.
Yeah, because if people don't know, StreamYard. This is where it gets confusing. Streamlabs is streaming software. StreamYard is an online service where you can like have a meetup and then put that into your streaming software. It's like Google Hangouts. Unless you pay lots of money, StreamYard is locked at 720p.
Yeah.
And we don't pay enough to get 1080p. So, and it does mean that unfortunately you can't do anything with the layout of the screen or anything like that. You're just stuck with whatever you get. So it's all right, but it's not great. So the solution that's presented itself may be much better.
Well, we're all excited, aren't we? But then we get excited at anything, don't we, really? Let's be honest.
I get excited by peas.
I was Prime Minister once.
Did you have any friends?
No, I had a friend once, but I haven't anymore.
Oh.
She doesn't like me anymore. I miss Edwina.
You just made me paint all the wrong bits.
As long as he didn't paint her bits. No! Get that image out of my head. No.
I'm not even sure what category that would get banned under us.
I don't even know why that entered my head, mate. I do,
because you're a prevert.
I really need to get out a lot more. Mind you, I was out in public today.
Exactly. I've seen the alerts.
I was well behaved, mate.
I deny this. I find this hard to believe.
Yeah. My missus was very impressed. She said you did well there. You didn't insult anyone.
Did you have that kind of Hannibal Lecter thing over your mouth, though?
Yeah, there might have been a muzzle involved.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know me so well.
This is my husband. Don't touch the glass.
Yeah. Yeah. He just wheels me around on one of them sack trucks. Yeah.
I was going to say something, and you were going to say something, and we started talking about something, and I forgot what it was now. We're about to start a conversation on something, and it's gone.
We was talking about slobs and all the 1080p goodness. We was also talking about your camera woes.
I can't remember. There was something else we were discussing.
What, before we went live?
No. Just before we started talking about slobs. Well, I can't remember what it was now. I'm sure you started saying something, and I was about to say something and go, oh, yes, because, and then I forgot what it was.
Oh, hello, Frankie. Frankie Day is in. Long time no see, Frankie. Smashing to see you in, buddy. I hope you're keeping well. Mm-hmm. And, yeah. Absolute legend is Frankie Day. If you want to pop over and have a look at his channel, go down to the bottom of my page, or my YouTube channel, look at the featured channels, head on over and pay him a visit. Legend is a word that's thrown about too much, but in Frankie's case, yeah, it's justified.
Legend or legend? I never know.
Legend, mate. Do you know the guy who smokes the big table leg cigars?
Oh, yeah. I know Frankie Day.
Yeah.
I forgot to turn all my notifications off, didn't I?
Yeah. You're a notification.
You're made of notifications.
I'm made of peas.
Peas. Aggressive peas for the modern man. Can you serve me my peas on a corduroy plate? Thank you. Jeff Light's in. Welcome, Jeff.
Hello, Jeff. How you diddling, mate?
Did. Andy McLeish says, ew, Colin, no, but I'm not sure what he's talking about.
Edwina.
Retro Rabbit, and this is a good point actually if you've ever seen it. Retro Rabbit says the I Like Peas voice sounds a lot like the Techmoan's puppet, and it does actually. Yeah. Have you ever watched Techmoan stuff?
No.
Yeah, he does. He's like an audiophile. He does like reviews of like audio hardware and stuff.
Yeah.
And technical stuff, but he does these like every now and then. They'll have a couple of puppets on screen, and it's quite good. It does sound like it actually. just made me realise that.
Does he like peas?
I probably does like peas. Yes.
Paul Lewis says, I am positively anticipatory for the sight of Colin and Fox wrist and forearm hairs in HD.
Yeah. By HD, we don't mean like 4Ks. We mean like 1080p's.
Yeah. Are you struggling with camera angles again? Are we off shot? I don't know. It seems central. No, I was just asking where he was on about arm hairs. I just wondered whether we was off shot again.
No. Hey, listen, they get what they're given, and they like it. It puts the lotion in the basket. Shut up.
I like peas. I like peas in my basket.
Ew! That doesn't sound right at all, especially given the context.
Yeah.
There's more context to this that people don't realise, and that doesn't sound right.
You see the football the other night? Oh, what a game, Fox! Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Belt buckles at least a metre apart. Oh, steady now. I don't know what that means.
We really do need to get out more, don't we?
I don't know.
Jeff Light says, we're all good, thanks. Hope and trust all is well with everyone. Fine and dandy, mate. Fine and dandy.
Dine and fandy.
It's all good, mate.
Yeah, you know what's not good?
What?
Marifat peas. Rubbish they are.
Well, yeah, you're supposed to put the decal on the model, Cole, not on your finger. Yeah.
See, Marifat peas is like you take the most boring food stuff known to man and you add extra boring to it.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because like garden peas, they're quite nice, you know. Mushy peas are brilliant, but Marifat peas, it's like solid water. It's just... There really is no point.
There you go.
Well, who came up with the name marrow fat? None of those words are good. Not on the thing you're going to put in your mouth.
Oh.
I've got madness in my head now.
There you go. Another bit of decalage done.
I've got the intro to Welcome of the House to the House of Fun in my head. That's that stuck in my head now. I'll do more than that for obvious reasons.
I had our house the other day in my head. Do you think I could get asleep? It's like, really?
No chance.
Yeah, it's like,
I've had this piece from Cyberpunk 2077 go in my head. It's a little sort of chibi Japanese piece of like J-pop. It's been stuck in my head for about 2 weeks.
I know you have zero interest in any form of cars or motorsport, but the McLaren Formula One car this weekend is rocking a Cyberpunk 2077 themed paint job.
Is it?
Yeah.
Does it actually say Cyberpunk 2077 on it?
It's got symbology of the buildings and game art and stuff like that along both sides of it. Because the Grand Prix in Singapore and some of the scenes are based on that skyline, and they done a tie-up with the game company. Some of the writing on the side is in the Cyberpunk font. And yeah.
Oh.
So I thought, I know a man who might be interested in that. And then I thought, yeah, but it's motorsport.
Yeah. No, I'll take it. I'll take that one. I sent Festa a screenshot from Cyberpunk the other day. It made him wince just a little bit.
Yeah.
I sent him a picture of a poster in the game.
Yeah, it was. You can't unsee it when you spot it. It's like instantly spotted it. It's like, no.
I bet he was sat there. Let's just say it's a poster. It involves a lady with some very unladylike body parts.
Yeah.
And I could imagine him sitting there going, I can't, what's he sent me this for? What I don't, oh.
Yeah. As soon as I zoomed in, that was the first thing that was middle of the screen. It's like, you are so very wrong.
Yeah. But the funny thing was, I sent him that, and then he went, no, you're so wrong, you're so wrong. And then he went, I guess I need to investigate this game. And I'm thinking, probably shouldn't have had that sentence follow on from the last conversation, but there you go.
Yeah, upon reflection, not the response that I should have immediately given.
Yeah, maybe a bit later on you would have come up with that one.
But suffice to say, it's in the Steam basket. I am tempted to actually buy the physical game on PC, but I thought, I don't know.
It's a heck of a system pusher, though. It's needs a top-notch PC and graphics card and stuff to do all the bells and whistles.
I'm quite lucky that I've got a pretty meaty system.
Have you got many bells and many whistles?
I've got a big-ass graphics card in there as well.
Yeah,
so.
good lad. Good lad. It's kind of replaced Crysis as the system pushing benchmark.
Oh, right, yeah. Notice I answered that as if I knew what you was on about.
There was a game called Crysis that came out hundreds of years ago. And it was one of those games that when it came out at the time, barely any computer could run it because it was so demanding. And like 10 years later, it was still like, can this computer run Crysis? 10 years later, it was like, it was still a system punisher. Do you remember the spitting image annual, says Andy McLeish? I never had a spitting image annual.
Yeah, I can remember one of them, yeah.
Retro Rabbit says, they're offering 1080p's, and I think that's far too many p's for the average person.
Yeah.
Also says, I would build a model of a Cyberpunk 2077 themed McLaren, more so if it had Becker and some big guns on it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of them. I'm hoping that a decal set comes out for the paint job because I will build one.
Oh, yeah. I'm hoping that, I'm hoping that somebody brings out models of the cars in the game.
You never know, mate. They might do if demand is there.
Yeah, I don't know. There'll be like some 3D printable STLs, and there'll be some some small run resins, but whether anybody will make actual vehicles.
I would happily print them out if you find one.
Yeah.
Always like, I'm going to be so Google searching now.
Well, the thing is, though, it's shiny cars. I'd have to get. The only one I would do, I'd have to get one of the ones that's a knackered car, like the Thornton Galena, which is like a little sort of. It looks like an old Mark 1 Golf, basically.
Oh, right, yeah.
And the one you get in game has got like Battleship grey panels on it and loads of rust and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's basically you're knackered. So I'd get one of them, Thornton Galena.
Atolls in. Crysis 3 was best of the trilogy, he says. There you go.
I enjoyed Crysis 3.
Yeah, you're a bit of a gamer, isn't he, Atoll?
I tried Crysis 1 and I paid through it for a bit, but I hated every minute of it. I tried Crysis 2. I think it was Crysis 2 that had Malaya in it. Or was that Far Cry? That's Far Cry, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I tried Crysis 2 then. Yeah, I remember I didn't like Crysis 1 or 2, but I liked 3. I finished 3. Played it to completion. But on console, not on computer. I'm not as happy with these big checks. The problem with doing checkers is that the bigger they go, the more crap they look when you paint them.
I don't know. I don't think they look bad.
Yeah, on a webcam they look fine, but when you see them in real life, they're a bit.
Perhaps we'll leave the 1080p then until we're doing a different build.
Let's go back to 240p. I think it's probably the best.
420, 480 even.
360. What is it? 680 by 420 or whatever it was in the old days.
Yeah. It's funny. Some of my first YouTube videos were in that aspect ratio. I soon pulled them down.
Yeah. I remember that feeling when, like, you load up a game, and for the first time, like many years ago, do you ever remember the first time you were able to play a game at 640 by 480?
Oh yeah.
I was like, wait, because my Mama Fox had a computer, a PC, and I wasn't really that into games, but I got Quake.
Yeah, I had Quake.
And it was like, I played it at my friend's house, and it was in 320 by whatever, and I got home and I was like, wait, I can play it in 640 by 480?
Yeah.
Holy cow, this is the future. I'm playing Dark Forces, in 640 by 480. It was just mind-blowing. Irony is I can't play Dark Forces now because I can't deal with the control system.
Yeah, that's a thing. I must carry on with me modding of Skyrim. Yeah.
I love the way you're going to completely modded it before you've even really properly played it. I think that's adorable.
I do believe someone said get the mods on there, so that's what I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
What I do is I install a couple, load the game up, make sure it boots up and that it's playing, and yeah, then I do a few more. And...
There was an update a couple of days ago, so you might find some of the mods will have been balked.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do like an update to the game and it can balk some mods. So sometimes you just very occasionally they'll do updates to it, and you just find all your mods have gone.
Yeah.
We'll put them all back in again. But they're few and far between nowadays, the updates, because it's 11 years old.
Yeah.
But they do it from time to time.
Did you say you had a list of all the mods that you'd done? You probably sent me.
Are you going to ask me to send it to you again?
I think you already have, haven't you?
Yeah. I put it in the Facebook chat. I think I put it in the Facebook chat like not that long ago, last week, I think.
Oh, right. What, on the group? Or in the boomer?
No, in the chat between me and you in Facebook Messenger.
Oh, you know what that's going to involve?
You know, exactly. You know how me and you have all our conversations? Exclusively have all our conversations in Messenger chat, and you never get anything I send you.
Yeah. Yes, I'm useless. BJ's Customs is in, says, hello, guys. Great builds. Thanks, mate.
Thank you very much.
We do our best, mate. We do our best to come up with things that are slightly eccentric.
I don't think that's even half what describes what you've made there, Colin.
Yeah, I'm getting carried away again, mate, you know.
You're underselling yourself vastly. Right, I'm going to walk away from them checkers now because I'm just getting...
Are they giving you
going blind. No, I'm just going blind trying to get them nice and straight and neat. When I know it's going to be hidden away and covered up.
Can I ask you a question?
So. Yes.
Why are you trying to get them straight and neat when they're orc? Just asking.
Well, not straight and neat as in painted like a decal, but at least have not like obvious lines where it's not. It just looks like poor blood brushmanship rather than thematic orc painting. You can tell when it's just the painter's not that good, rather than it's what the orc paint's like. What are you doing?
I am buffing decals.
Oh, to make them fade in. I like that.
Yeah.
I wonder what you were doing. I'm like, why are you sending this paint job?
No, I am buffering some of the decals down.
I'm buffering. That explains a lot.
Yeah. Some more than others. Others I shall look at and go, are they enough? If they are, they are. If they're not, I'll carry on doing a bit more on them.
Yeah. Right, now, what am I painting next? I've got some checkers on there. I've got some more glyphs to paint. I don't really know what colour glyphs to do on a death skulls. I've got some cables too. I can paint cables. They're all black anyway, so I can paint them. That'd be nice and easy. I've still not figured out what colours to paint the casing on my weapons. I might just leave them rusty, but I don't know. I've not even figured that out yet.
Yeah, it's one of them, innit? It's you try to figure out stuff, and then you think, yeah, I don't want to overdo it, but I don't want to underdo it. If that makes
no. It's like I don't know whether to. I don't know.
Which basically means we ain't got a clue where we're going direction-wise. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could leave them rusty because that's a lot easier. Yeah, I was lazy.
Are you going for the easy option again?
No, I don't know yet. I don't even know what colour to paint my missiles and bombs.
No, I've kind of got so far with them, and then I'm like, yeah, I need to come back to them at some point.
Right, let me paint some tubes and pipes. That's nice. Require too much thinking.
Yeah.
Corvus black. That's a good colour to me.
So we got a bit of
la 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 la.
To do on there.
La 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 la.
Yeah, we'll do a bit on the grot tank in a bit.
Your grot tank.
I like being a grot tank. And of course, we mustn't forget Underneath the
arches. It is the order of things.
Or I could go underneath the arches. That's are far some too well peas.
There'll be no peas in our time. You're a bad man.
I am. I like being bad.
I really hope nobody ever figures that out.
Yeah.
Shut up, I'm painting tubes.
You are a tube.
Tubes.
Tubes.
I used to know a guy who was from Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And he used to, when he used to insult people, he would deal with customers. And he'd be like, oh, I've got this right tube on the face. I said, what is tube? And they went, tube, it's like a Scottish thing. It means like hollow, empty person, like an idiot. I was like, oh, you mean like mong? Yeah, okay. Just the Manchester version.
Yeah. Down here.
That's a good sound. I like that.
Down here, it's a spanner.
Spanner!
He's a bit of a John Denner, isn't he? John Denner, spanner.
I started saying gonk now because it sounds so good in Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Today, children, we're painting tubes and pipes.
We're painting tubes. Welcome to
Tubes and Pipes.
Tubularities.
Welcome to Honest John's House of Tubes.
Al says, underneath the arches, mate, you'll find all the pigeons asleep. See what he did there?
Pigeons.
Because they coo.
Pigeons.
We got a bit of that, a bit of that. What
next station, Yasso Inaba. Next station.
Yeah. What next? Right.
One day you'll visit Inaba.
A what?
You'll visit Inaba one day. You'll go to the Juness store. You'll meet Chie.
Oh, right, yeah.
And Yosuke. You'll meet Teddy.
Happy days.
In the Shadow World. One day you will play Persona 4.
Is this more subtle gaming hint you're dropping, mate?
Yeah. I think you've already got it, haven't you? I'm sure you did.
I've got Fallout 4.
Fallout 4. I can't believe I spent all that money getting Persona 4. What they said, right, Persona 4 is now available on PC. And I'm like, oh, that means I can stream it, finally. Because I can just about play it on the PC, and it's just not that demanding. And then they went, there you go, here's all the money for Persona 4. And they went, thank you, brilliant, it'll come out on Xbox next year. Oh, you gits.
It's always the way, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm waiting for it to come out. Hopefully next year it'll be out on Xbox, and I can stream it then. It is the best game ever made, ever. In terms of that kind of game. It's, yeah. I can't even begin to explain it, and I wouldn't try.
Yeah, there is a possibility I'll end up getting an Xbox at some point. I just want to see how I get on with gaming first.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like you said, gaming for you going forward is a good...
good way of keeping my coordination, dexterity going, mate.
Yeah, your manual coordination stuff. And it's also a getaway when you've got no mojo and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, good shout, Paul. Good shout, mate. I'd forgotten that. Paul J. Lewis, Belly, Sausage Butty, Bench, 124th Gme, BMW M635 CSI, Beverage, JD, Smooth. Yes, folks, Belly and Bench. What's on the belly? What's on the bench? And what is your beverage of choice?
And what's your pin number? I've got straight hair on this brush. It's most annoying. Yes, I'd forgotten about that. Now, Paul said earlier on that his beverage tonight on my stream, he said it was beer.
Oh, nice.
So he's either had a beer and now he's on the JDs, or he's just gone straight from beer to JD without having the beer. Either way, it's all good.
Either way, it's perfect, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Beer with JD chasers.
Oh, yeah. I'm very jealous of you, though, because you've got... If you take to gaming now, not only are you taking to it at a time when it's just a fantastic pastime and activity because it's just so good now. There's so much you can do. The dream of virtual, living, creating entire worlds in a game is upon us. It's not just bleeps and bloops and platform games. But not only have you coming to it at the best possible time, you've also got 20 years of the best possible games at your disposal.
There's a lot of catching up to do, isn't there?
Yeah, but you've got all the games that all of us lot have played and enjoyed and loved over the years, and would give our right kidneys to go back and play again without knowing playing it from scratch.
Yeah.
Taking the hair off this brush. Like if you play a game, and there's some games you can play over and over again, and there's some games you're like, well, I want to play it again, but I've played it already. And Half-Life 2's like that for me. Once you played it, but it's all new for you. You've got all this experience to come, and I'm so jealous.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's just for me pulling my finger out and getting everything ready that I need ready, so I can go at the streaming with it and not have to worry about, I forgot to add this or I forgot to add that.
Well, even if you don't stream it, it's just something. It's an extra thing for you to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Adds an extra
dimension.
Some people cry foul about games. Oh, it's a waste of time, blah. But it's like, you know what? It enriches life for a lot of people.
Well, I was chatting to my MS nurse about it. And she said, yeah, it'd be great for your dexterity, but also for your cognitive reflexes.
Yeah,
she said, because you're keeping your brained almost, she said. So your speed and your mental agility, she said, it'll be brilliant for that. She said, so go for it.
And especially if you're playing like an open world game or a first person shooter where, you've got to keep cognizant of your surroundings and memorize the building that you're in or the map or whatever you're on. It's all that kind of stuff. And that's what I've said from the start. It's a brilliant thing. But some people still decry it and say it's childish and stuff. But it's like, you know what? No, it brings happiness to a lot of people. And it's no longer just a childish pastime. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah, but I'm a child. I don't mind.
Yeah. People that just dismiss gaming out of hand are like, I have no time for them.
It's normally people that don't understand.
Yeah. It's like if you tried it and don't like it, that's fine.
Yeah.
But people go, oh, I'm not interested in that. How do you know? Have you ever tried it? No. Well, there you go then.
Yeah, there's no point in hating on something just because it doesn't fit into your category or routine. It's like, well, it wouldn't be such a multi-billion-dollar industry if people didn't enjoy it.
Yeah. I said to someone, I said, just imagine like your favourite movie, but you can actually play that, so you're actually in it. That's what games are like nowadays. Not all of them. There's still bad games and there's still simple games, but, a lot of people get a lot of comfort and happiness from gaming. Then there's also 900 million chuds that just play COD and shout and swear racist things down the microphone, but then we ignore them. They're just mouth breathers. You get them in everything.
You're going to get them everywhere, mate.
Yeah. So ignore them. That's online gaming. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine there's quite a bit of rivet countery mentality in some of the gaming genre.
Oh, not really rivet counting, just mindless misogyny, racism and hatred.
Oh, really? Oh, great.
Yeah, like you go and play, like, heaven forbid you're a woman and you try and play Call of Duty. Jesus Christ.
Oh, God. Yeah.
It's such abuse they get, people. And it's just things like, those kind of, I don't play those kind of games anyway. Basically, many online multiplayer type games, they're just cesspits. I don't bother.
Why though? It's just don't get people when they're like that.
Because there's a lot of stupid people in the world, and unfortunately, it gives them a voice.
Yeah,
gives them a chance to spout their rubbish without any consequences.
Yeah, Digger Evans is in saying hi to Fox and Festa. Hello, Digger. How you doing, mate?
Hello, Digger.
Retro says Belly McDonald's quarter pounder with cheese that I didn't eat at lunch. Diet Pepsi. Bench, nothing. Just finished the Lego Time Machine DeLorean. Happy dates. Jeff Light. Belly, cheese and ham and pickle sarnie. Bench, a Battle Walker from Orc Miniatures. Beverage, Bacardi and lemonade. Hulk with an H. That was Fox, by the way.
I was going to ask that. I didn't actually know. My dinner was supposed to be a big tasty with bacon, a Big Mac, and large fries. It turned out to be a burger from a completely different place and some chips because the McDonald's teenagers gave my delivery driver, my Just Eat delivery driver, completely the wrong food.
Oh, really?
And when he phoned them at the doorstep, because I was like, I didn't order a Coke. What? This isn't my order. They said, just tell the customer to accept it anyway and get a refund. I was like, okay, I'll go and try and find out how to get a refund on Just Eat. Oh, look, the refund button doesn't work.
Oh, really?
He's like, I have a complaint about my order. Click. This button doesn't work. Oh, I see. Is that how it is? Yeah.
Orcasaurus is in, says hi to Colin, Fox, and everyone in chat land. Big hugs. Mate, how you doing?
Hey, Orcasaurus. Willkommen auf dem Stream. I know that's not correct German. Paul Lewis says the beers nasty lager segued in quite quickly into more beers, tasty and fruity IPA, which have now segued into smooth JD Hick. Cheers.
Nice.
Digger Evans says, doing good, thanks, chaps. Good to hear it. I am so overwhelmed with this, I'm just completely overwhelmed as to what
Angus Allen is in. He says, good day, Festa and Fox, and all in chat. Just a quick in and out today. Oh, see what he did there.
Were you trying to do an Australian accent?
Yeah, it didn't work, did it?
Nah. G'day, bro.
Told you, mate, I do accents as good as Ted.
No, I think you're better than Ted. I don't think anybody's as bad as Ted. Well, the only people that do accents worse than Ted is anyone that's ever been in Star Trek having to play an Irish character and not being Irish, because they can all just get stuck in a fire. There's one thing I hope future generations of Star Trek producers and creators learn. It's never, ever, ever have Americans playing Irish or Scottish characters ever again. Please don't do it. Not ever. Just don't. If you want a Scottish character, hire a Scottish actor. If you want an Irish character, hire an Irish actor. It's not hard. See, at least in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they actually got a Scottish guy to play the Scottish guy, which was quite good. Yeah. That was quite nice. That was a good. It's a good series, that, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You'll watch that eventually, probably.
Yeah, that's the one where they fly around in that big plane, isn't it?
The bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks mint, that. Ha, la, 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 la. It wandered and meandered a bit, but I just like what's his face as Agent Coulson. You can't beat him as Agent Coulson. He's just great. Agent Coulson is my hero.
Squishy alert, Edward Leonard's in.
Squishy latitude.
Saying good evening, folks. How you doing, Edward?
Hello, Edward. Hello, buddy. Do 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 do. Painting tiny details. It's really quite hard. When it's midnight and you're tired and you're half blind.
Angus says Cole does great accents as long as it's Cockney. Yeah, you might have noticed my accents are as good as Michael Caine's American accent. It's like,
yeah. Or Sean Connery's anything accent.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm a Russian soldier. Also, I'm Spanish.
Yeah.
You may have noticed. Then again, it's just Sean Connery, isn't it? It's like, Sean, we want you to play this character. He's from, like, I don't know, he's from Chechnya. What, you mean he talks like this? Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, that'll do.
I'm the producer there going, I'm not telling him. No, I'm not telling him. I'm not going to tell him. Quick, get the intern. Tell Sean Connery his voice is terrible. I'm not doing that. You didn't pay me enough for that. Damn it.
I can only say peas.
Poos. Hey, Mr. Sean Connery. I think you'll find.
I think what he did is he spent his entire career getting his own back for us lot against Dick Van Dyke for his London accent in Mary Poppins.
But he's Scottish.
I think that was his sole mission.
What, to get revenge against the Americans?
Yeah. Because no one else would.
No. I've developed over the years a filter though for Star Trek. The moment they have any civilization or like society on a planet that's supposed to be ever so slightly pre-industrial, you know they're going to make it sort of pseudo-Irish and they're going to have lots of Americans. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not watching this episode. You just know it. I'm looking at you, Sub-Rosa.
Yeah.
Bloody Beverly Thingy's mother's good God. I'm Mr. Quint! No, you're not. You're an American actor trying to be Scottish and you're terrible at it.
Yeah, quit whilst you're behind.
Or is Sub-Rosa the Voyager one? Oh, I can't remember now. It's kind of the same thing. One is Beverly Crusher falling for a dead ghost type person, which is terrible. And one is the Voyager one where it's in a... Oh, they're both bad. They've merged into one horrifying nightmare of slightly racist Irish proportions.
Oh,
so
really?
Racism. No, it's just like the accents are terrible and they're like, oh, hello, I'm out. Oh, God, no. Let's just never do that again. Let's never speak of these things. In Stargate terms, every series of Star Trek has had its Hathor episode.
Yeah.
You probably remember the episode Hathor from Stargate.
Yeah.
SG-1.
Of course I do.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, of course you do. There's a reason that even the cast of Stargate SG-1 say they never talk about that episode.
Is it that bad?
It's that bad that at one point in a later episode in a later series, somebody says something and they're reading through like records from SG-1.
Yeah.
And they say it's something like, well, we've got this record here of this thing with Hathor, and they went, yeah, we don't talk about that. They just in the context of the characters saying it, even they just, yeah, we don't talk about that because it was such a bad episode. La 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 la. That looks like a tube to me, or is it a pipe? I'm not quite sure. Could be metal, could be tubular.
Oh, Lewis says, I have this image of stompers with rear view mirrors like those on Vespers, just passing the thought.
Oh yeah, loads of mirrors sticking out the side. You'd have to have them.
That could be.
You'd have to have them on the head, wouldn't you? Yeah. Or sticking out on the front there, so that the knob in charge can, the boss in charge can. Yeah, that'd be mint. Do you think they do a reversing noise?
Yeah, beep beep beep. This stomper is reversing.
It'd be like oi, 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 oi.
Yeah.
Any more wires? Any more wires? Any more wires? I don't want to do all my cables black because that's really boring and they vanish. But I want some of them to be black. The Cerritos visited DS9 this week, says Rabbit. Yes, I've not watched that one yet.
Oh.
I think we get him a few days later. I love Star Trek Below Decks so much. It is basically the best Star Trek series at the moment. Which is crazy because it's an animated comedy series, but it's just the best Trek. It's absolutely the best one.
Good that they went down that road, really, isn't it? Because, it does bring it to a whole new audience, doesn't it?
Well, it's just absolutely the best Trek available. It's the most accurate, lore canon friendly Trek, and the voice acting is just so awesome. It's that kind of modern, fast paced dialogue kind of thing.
Yeah,
everybody talks really fast and they always respond to each other, and it's the voice actors are just so good. It's so funny. And it's the way they're reacting to situations that you or I might find yourself in. Like the last episode I watched, the two main characters, Boimler and Mariner, have to go down to this planet's surface. It's like a fair thing, like a job fair. And it's an exhibition thing, and they have to go and man the Starfleet stand.
Yeah.
The recruitment stand. And he's like, right, you have to go down there and be positive, and I want to see at least 100. I want to see a list of lots of people signing up to join Starfleet by the time you come back. And she's like, oh no, so boring.
Edward Leonard says stompers don't beat when reversing, they fart.
And not from the exhaust tubes, not from the chimneys. La 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 la.
And of course, don't forget, folks, this Sunday, Warhammer Sunday, will be the chipping of the Lehman Russ, won't
it? More chipping, yes, indeed.
So keep an eye out for that, folks.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll move on to something else. Might get all the chipping done. You never know. That sounded like Dennis Nedry. Great, get me a can of shaving foam. It's bad that I remember his name, Dennis Nedry. Have they ever made a good Jurassic Park film since the first one, or have they all just been garbage? I think I've seen like one.
I
think
saw
I saw Jurassic
one
Park
of the
2.
follow-up, but yeah, it didn't. For me, it didn't have the same impact as the first one.
No, I think I watched 2. It might have been 3. The one where they're in a like a coach and it rolls over or something like that.
Yeah,
and it was like, this is garbage.
Yeah, I think they've done another one. I think there's
Oh,
one
they've done
out.
about 8.
There's one out at the moment, isn't there?
There's about 20 of them.
Oh, you're joking.
Lest we forget, it's 30 years since the original.
Yeah.
Just think about that for a minute. 30 years ago, I was going to the cinema and watching it 3 times a day for about 2 weeks. I literally was going to watch cinema, watching it, coming home, going back again.
It's insane, isn't it?
But that's 30 years ago, dude.
Yeah, but it was so well done at the time, wasn't it?
I'll just say that again. 30 years.
30 years.
30, not 5 years. 30 years ago.
30 years, my son. 30 years. Over a quarter of a century ago, mate.
Star Trek The Wrath of Khan, 40 years ago.
No.
Yeah, 1982. 40 years ago. And from the end of World War II, it's almost as long as... It's only slightly less... Was it long? It's about the same as from the end of World War II to when The Wrath of Khan actually came out. It's about the same from The Wrath of Khan to now.
Yeah, it's wrong, isn't it?
It's not right. I know it's actually longer since The Wrath of Khan to now than it was from the end of World War II to The Wrath of Khan coming out.
Yeah.
It's 3 years longer. I hate time in all its forms.
But it just makes you feel so bloody old, doesn't it?
It's because we are that bloody old.
No, we're not. We're only pups.
Pups? I don't think so. Evil Sun Scarlet. That'll do. Oh, I knocked my camera. Bugger. Hang on.
Oh, I'll cut you. Where did it go?
I did knocking of the camera. It's all gone wrong.
There it is.
I've lost my mark now. Where's my mark? That'll do. Where's my mark? Hello, Mark. Do you know, I actually forgot to take my meds today, and I was halfway through my stream when I remembered.
Oh, really?
That was fun. I had to pause. I had to do a 5-minute, I'll be back in a minute thing to go and take me. I was like, I forgot to take my meds. Bugger. I'll be back in a minute. It was so embarrassing. Now, let us paint some more pipes, tubes, and cables. We shall do some red cables. I'm the pup here. I'm only 22, says Fraser Green. Jesus Christ. Were you ever that young?
Yeah, once.
I don't think I ever was.
I was married.
I'm pretty sure that's not even a number that exists. Is that even a real number, Sam? This ain't the Lincoln Tunnel, Sam.
It's funny, me and my missus were on about this the other night. We cannot remember anything about our 30s.
I can, and I choose not to remember any of it. Well, a lot of it.
Yeah.
Or that I wish I couldn't remember a lot of it. Yeah.
I don't know why, we just can't remember it. I think it's because we was probably so focused on bringing the boys up.
Were you just drunk as a skunk the whole time?
No, because of the boys, mate. I, wouldn't drink.
Oh, so in that case, it's lack of sleep.
Yeah, it was just that was our focus. Everything was geared towards raising the family. It's
Yeah. Don't forget when you had those boys, anything you were interested in just died. So
oh yeah, there was no modelling or anything like that.
There was no you at that point. You didn't exist.
No.
All the things you like doing, that just ended. Next time we don't glue the arms on.
No, it's right.
No.
Pain, wouldn't it?
Yep, it's a stupid idea. I don't know why you made me do that.
I don't, mate. You listened to me, though.
I know. You made me listen to your wily words, and it's just...
Yeah.
I get the feeling big fat tubes like that should be black.
It was
Big
one
fat
of those
hoses.
trust your Uncle Festa moments that you wish you didn't trust me.
I learned something very valuable, that was to never ever trust your Uncle Festa. Do you reckon these big tubes here should be black? These big fat pipes?
That's what I've done mine for the moment. I've done them rubber black.
Yeah, they kind of look like they should be black, don't they?
Yeah, some of the ones that have got two tubes bound together, I've done them as welding pipes, one blue, one red.
Nah, I like that.
To break it up
One
a
blue,
tad.
one red.
One blue, one red. Enough. Said.
Get your colours right here. Right, where's my Corvus black? I need more Corvus black.
Yeah, get your colours here. £8 per pound. Not one,
Free for paint.
not two, but three.
Not a free with an F.
Jeff is in. Candygram for Mongo saying hello. Our very own Carl Sagan is upon
If you wish
us.
to make an apple pie from scratch, you must first invent the universe. I didn't do the voice for half of that. My throat was giving out. Paul Lewis says, it's 54 years since the premiere screening of 2001 A Space Odyssey.
You're joking.
Nope.
Oh,
1968.
that was the year H was born. I said that quietly.
You said that quietly in a loud microphone on the internet.
Damn.
I hate to point that out, but yeah, that you quietly may have failed a bit. Are you ready to learn some beatbox tonight?
Have at it.
What do you want to learn?
Oh, I don't know.
What kind of rhythms do you like?
You're talking to a bloke who's got no rhythm. Bloody beatbox, my kipper. Jeff says that movie still looks fantastic. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, right. We'll start with the bass drum. You ready?
Go on.
Right. The way to do a bass drum is there's no tongue involved.
Why are you doing this to me?
I don't know, because it's passes the time. Nobody's
You want to mock me, don't you? This is...
nobody's given us stuff to talk about in chat, so. The way to do a bass drum is not to use the tongue at all. Like most things in life, there's no tongue involved. It's all with the lips. There's no. It's hard to explain. You don't go, although you can do. For a nice clean kick drum, it's like. There's no. You've just got to be.
Okay.
Unfortunately, without being able to see it. But it's like saying, it's like the letter B, b, but keep your mouth, say b, but then do it with your mouth closed. And you let your lips kind of go, like that. I can't really explain it. This is a bad idea without having the visual element, I suppose.
It's a bad idea, isn't it?
That's a very sloppy kick drum, that. That's like when you get their sort of heavy rock rhythm in a really echoey warehouse. I'm trying to think now of a rhythm.
see what I have to put up with, folks.
Because there's different bass drums. You could have like an 808 bass, which is very synthy. That's with the tongue, though.
You spend a lot of time on your own doing this sort of thing, don't you?
I do. I just sit there when I'm by myself, like doing something mind-numbingly boring, or like doing something either really boring, or if I'm just making a brew, or if I'm just doing something that doesn't require me to be paying attention. I sit there like just doing little beatboxes.
I did it with the Amazon driver today. He had this totally befuddled look on his face. I opened the door, took the parcel, went, "It's a gun, innit?" Closed the door.
It'd be good if is it the same driver every time, or is it just like?
No, it was a different one. He just stood, I could see his shadow through the glass. It's like, yeah, H was like, he's still there, and I said, yeah, he's confused, and he bless him.
You want to do one like, right, quick scalper, slam the door.
Yeah, I just thought, no,
You
I
ain't
saw it.
Take the packet. You ain't seen me, right?
Yeah, you know what's going to happen next? I like peas.
Oh, it's my delivery of peas.
Yeah.
I ordered peas once and I got sprouts.
Yeah.
Right, so give me your best bass drum. A bit nice, clean, not slappy with spit everywhere, but nice, clean. Not you don't want your teeth involved on your bottom lip. You've still got your teeth on your bottom lip. You've got to have it's got to like be in front of your teeth. I can't really show you. It's a bit like going. You can have your teeth apart. It's a bit like saying "b," but with your mouth closed.
Mm. Mm.
And you can move on to that. You see?
Yeah. Right.
Let's try.
I'm sure you can. I'm quite worried now.
I'm sure you can do cymbals and hi hats. They're easy. You can do that.
There's a guy who spent too much time doing beatbox. Just have at it. You're in the beatbox. You want to release it. Go for it. Go on. Go for it. Do a bit.
Well, it's because I used to. I spent years and years like laying down drum tracks on my pieces of music, and I had to play all the drums on a keyboard. So it was like I kind of got used to all the sounds.
Yeah,
I had to kind of.
It.
When I was rehearsing stuff, I'm like, right, I want the rhythm to go like this, and then oh, there you go, that'll be. So I had to kind of rehearse it. So we'll try again. Try you get your closed. You got your closed hi hat. And the open hi-hat is just a long one.
Yeah.
With a bit of a stumble on the way. Okay, try just simple 4/4 times. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. But just do the closed hi-hat. You're kind of using you're going There's no vocal.
Yeah,
there's no vocal cord involvement. It's all just air.
Yeah.
It's the tongue.
You are talking to the bloke who's never been able to whistle, mate. So, you know, you've got really no chance of teaching me anything. No, it's never been out with. My missus could whistle like, you know, Roger Bloody Whittaker. Makes me sick, it does.
When Festa says my missus can whistle is something Festa often says in his mind. My missus can whistle. What is that? Yes, darling.
Yeah, of course it is, sweetheart. You're brilliant. I love you to bits. Yeah.
It's one of those things he never says in his mind.
Oh, she does it all, mate. The old, what, some of that, you know, and it's like, yeah, I go off some people. Yeah. Whistling, mocking me.
I'm normally full of rhythms, but when I try and do a rhythm, I'm trying to think of a rhythm, I can't think of one. I like to, sometimes when I'm like making a brew downstairs, for some reason I'm always doing it when I'm making a brew. Like making Mama Fox a cup of tea and I'm sitting there beatboxing away while I'm doing it. I think it's just so she knows where I am, what I'm doing.
You can imagine her sitting there going, no way did that boy come from my loins.
Yeah, I've raised an idiot.
Why me? I dropped him on his head when he was a baby. That's what she says.
Yeah. Dropped me into a vat of peas.
Yeah, I fell into some peas. I had a friend once.
But end. But it's good though, because like I say, I used to try and like figure out rhythm tracks before, because like plugging in the drum machine and setting it all up was a pain in the bum. So I used to kind of just vocalize them to get them down pat, or I'd lay down a temp track.
Yeah.
With just beatbox rhythm, so I could get the feel for it for when it came to record the rhythm later on.
Oh, right,
So, you know, I'd have a click track going, or I'd have a time code thing, and I'd just beatbox over a drum track so that when it came to later on, I'd know what to play. And it's quite a good band. You can get. They probably sound. It's the funny thing with beatbox is in my head it sounds like a real drum kit, but in reality it probably sounds shit. But that's the thing in your mind. You're making it's like, oh look, it's a TR-808.
Oh, in your mind you sound brilliant, don't you? You know.
Yeah. But in reality it's probably terrible. But it's all good fun because you can start getting your bass going. Bring in a snare. There's all spit going everywhere. I can see it.
Yeah. Paul Lewis says, an appeal to the chat. Please give Colin and Fox something to discuss. Enough with this beatbox nonsense. Yeah. Thank you for rescuing me. Ask us anything, please. See, Coolio died during the week.
I don't know what that means.
He's a rapper. He's only 59. 59's no age, is it?
No. Well, it is if you're 59.
It ain't though, is it? It's only a few years older than us, mate. You know, it's
That's
like...
what you die of there.
God,
I mean, if you juggle chainsaws all day long, 59 is a really old age.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know.
Depends what kind of life you lead. I'll be lucky if I get to 59.
59. It's like, bloody hell. No age, is it?
4.9 zig. No, but again, if you have, say, an unhealthy life, it's probably a ripe old age. I'll be lucky if I make it to tomorrow, never mind 59.
I'll tell you something, though. You look at people like Ozzy and Keith Richards, their DNA needs to be frozen, doesn't it?
Oh, God, yeah, because they're like, I don't want to know what condition, how do they want to know how they do that?
Their scientists have got to look into this, how these two are still alive. Yeah,
because they've done so much stuff over the years.
Yeah.
There's no way they should still be even, like, compass made. Well, Ozzy Osbourne maybe, and he isn't, but there's no way any of them should be.
This is it. He's got Parkinson's, isn't he, now? It's like, ding dong. But,
oh, God, me Avalanche Sunset's turned into a lump.
It's just... I'm in awe, to be honest with you. It's like, ding dong geese. How the hell have you made it to this age?
I'm in awe, but I shifted around in my seat a bit and it's better now.
Where did I put it? Oh, where is it? Thank you for a penny.
Spit Weathering the Stompa whilst beatboxing, a new video series. Was that a bit of beatbox there? I saw that.
I don't know. I did that out loud, didn't I?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. That won't happen again.
You have to ease yourself in it. Start with the bass, introduce a hi-hat, and then get daring with a snare. And if you get really daring, introduce some rolls and trills. And if you're really, really daring, try and bring some bass into it as well.
God.
That's where it gets really tricky. That's red. It's very thin red. Have to do a second coat of that, I think. Young lady. I think I should have a big fat yellow hose pipe on that one.
You're a fat yellow hose pipe.
That's my entire response to that. Get around that. Brush is knackered. These base brushes, they are great for doing dry brushing, but as base brushes, they last for one session.
Oh, yeah, about as much use as chocolate teapot, aren't they?
Well, they are brilliant for base brushing, but not for more than one session. Once you've painted a thing with them, that's it. It's just a dry brush. At which they excel, it has to be said. Do. I like the fact that somebody implored the chat to come up with something for us to talk about, and they still haven't done it yet.
I know. You know what that means?
That's because that means secretly they actually enjoy my beatboxing. That was a bit rubbish, actually.
You're going to do the end beat to EastEnders, aren't you?
I was about to, actually. I can't do it now. You've said it. You've jinxed it.
I've jinxed it.
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh
Nick,
no.
you know.
I found some peas. See?
That's the last line in the episode, isn't it? Oh no, I found some peas. The funny thing is, I'm such a nerd, I know that that's a Simmons drum set, a Simmons synth drum kit. I can recognise the drums by the sound.
Paul J. Lewis has put in a £10 super chat. He says, yellow card for Fox, no more beatbox rubbish, silly person, or you're off, lad. Yeah.
You do realise you're paying Colin for me to stop. It's not how it works.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I am totally cool with that.
Yeah, you like that. I'm going to pay that man over there.
You like that.
Officer, if I give that man over there £10, will you not arrest me? That's not how bribery works, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
If I give you some peas.
I had a friend once.
Don't lie.
Thing is, I could just see the voice.
Yeah. And we're not talking about ITV crappy TV. There's a lot to see, though.
Oh, yeah. Boom.
Boom!
Boom, a boom, a boom, a boom, a boom, boom.
Well, that was clever. I painted a red hose going into a red barrel. That was a stupid idea, wasn't it, Fox? You gimbatron.
Yeah, what'd you go and do that for, you bud?
I'm being called to the bar.
Oh.
Not that bar. Right, Mama Fox, who was going to bed 2 hours ago, is now going to bed.
Oh, she's finally hitting the pit, is she?
Yes. So I shall go and sort her out. I shall be back in 5 minutes.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Everyone's now breathing a sigh of relief, aren't they? They're going, oh, great, the beatbox has ended. Could be worse. Just try and actually get on shot what I'm doing. Just laying in a bit of highlight colour ready for some chipping later on. But I might as well put some of these in place. Random bits and bobs. I was tempted to put a warm LED in here just to light up inside. I still might do that just to give it a bit of variety. Couple scratches like so. Quick, think of topics, says Jeff. Yeah, exactly. Don't tell Fox. There you go. That's all you're getting. Yeah, got to think of topics. Anything. Space, money, government, I don't know, model kits, favourite kits, favourite movies, anything, folks. Because otherwise he'll get these beatbox back out and it's only going to end badly for all of us. Paul says, sorry, the beatbox has stopped. It might come back. Yeah, I think he's in for the night. I think he's got it in his system, peeps. So, apologies beforehand. I think it's in his system. If he carries on, I'll ask his mum to tell him off. We just have a bit of randomness going on in some areas. Scale Model Muse is in saying sushi. Hello, Marcy. How you doing, darling? Hope you're keeping well. Hope life's treating you well, love. Big hugs, suitably issued. Are you at home? Are you working? Chillaxing? Let's give that a bit of light in a few places. She's laughing at that. Yeah, you've been missing Fox doing beatbox, Marcy. It's been great. Everyone's really enjoyed it. Can't you tell? Find a bit of that in there. Oh, good topic. Who watched it live? Yeah, that was a thing, wasn't it? The satellite into the asteroid thing. Yeah, what was that all for in aid of then? Was that just to see whether we could do full-blown Armageddon and bump Earth shattering asteroids off their orbit or something? Or was they trying to bump one off orbit so they can drop it on Putin in Moscow? That's probably what they're up to. Right, I got that. We need a bit of light blue next. Is that going to be too bright? Yeah, we'll go for a bit of that and see how that looks. Apparently the camera broke when the satellite hit it. Clever though, isn't it, what man can do? It really is. It's like this big old James Webb telescope. I think that's going to be a huge, huge thing over the next few years. Shame Sagan never lived to see the Hubble and the James Webb. I think he would have been pretty in awe of all of that. Bit of a squiggle there.
Bye.
There you go. Told you, folks.
I'll have to go off again in a minute, but just while she's getting herself settled.
Bless her.
La 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 la.
Yeah, they're on about the satellite getting bumped into the asteroid.
Oh yeah, testing the deflection options.
Yeah, it's clever though, isn't it? It's interesting.
Yeah. How can we deflect an asteroid? Fly something into it. But it'll be a couple of months before they know if it's had anything effect on its trajectory.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be minuscule and tiny if it has. It will have done a bit. But it's just a test, really. A test of whether the idea actually works. Which it will, because physics says it'll work. But
yeah, it's for what aim?
If we ever need to... The entire point of doing it is, if there ever comes a time when there's an asteroid heading towards Earth, how are we going to deflect it? And they're saying, well, is one of the ways we can deflect an asteroid, fly something into it to push it into a different direction.
Yeah.
To knock it out of the orbit or the trajectory. So it's just a quick test to see, here's a small thing floating around, let's just pile this little satellite into it and see what happens.
Is by the time they detect an ELE event, it's going to be too late anyway.
Well, possibly, but not all the time. There are ones they know about, like Apophis and others, where they'll have a fair bit of warning if they change their trajectory and their orbit, become a threat. So, but yeah, it's just a quick test. It's like, well, let's fly a little thing into this little rock and see what happens. Just checking it out, seeing what the outcome is. Because once they know they fly something of a certain size into a rock of a certain size, they'll be able to work out all the mathematics and say.
Old Jay Lewis says, had the dinosaur killer asteroid not happened, would humankind have happened? Exactly.
No, probably not.
Probably not, mate.
Because there's 70 million years of evolution that would have been different. So... whether it's interesting because it's like if the dinosaurs hadn't died out, there's some speculation that they were in trouble anyway before the asteroid, and there is some some thoughts that there was a lot of climate change and stuff going on at the time, and that they were beginning to struggle over, you know, tens of thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years. They were on a bit of a decline, and the asteroid was the final push, but they wouldn't have all died out. But it's an interesting point to think, would there have been an intelligent sapient, not sapient, but, you know, let's use the, for want of a better word, sapient species on Earth? Or would there have been no push for one to develop?
Exactly.
Because, you know,
Does make you wonder, doesn't it?
yeah, I mean, you know, the large creatures have been roaming around for 200 to 300 million years before we came along, and it's only in the last 65 million years mammals developed out of little tiny things, and only in the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 million years that humans have evolved from earlier ancestors. So, you know, there was a lot of not evolving into a sapient species from all kinds of... Nothing evolved into intelligence for hundreds of millions of years before. So, yeah. You never know.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah, maybe there would have been intelligent dinosaurs.
It would be so cool if you just had that news come on the TV, you know, man has found life, you know what I mean? In our lifetime, wouldn't it be cool the minute that's announced?
Oh, that'd be
or
like...
would governments just sit on it?
No, they wouldn't sit on it, because at the end of the day, what would be the point?
Yeah. It would just be brilliant, wouldn't it? The question has finally been answered. I'd be like, brilliant.
Yeah.
Beam me up, Scotty. You know, it would be, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, all the scientists in various space agencies around the world who are working to try and find signs of life in the universe, their entire reason and purpose is to find life in the universe. So you can't imagine that they would find it and then the government say you can't tell anyone. They'd be like, okay. No, of course they won't. They don't care. Right, I shall be back in a moment.
Yeah, no worries.
Go and get sorted out.
It would be so cool. I must admit. I'd be pretty made up. I think it's every person's thing, isn't it, where you just think, oh, how cool would it be? Be one of them Kennedy moments, wouldn't it, where people that were around, well, you know, where were you when it happened type thing, you know. I always find it interesting, that sort of subject. I'd like to think that there are other life forms out there, because you couldn't have such a vast entity and we're the only planet that's got life on it. You know, not everyone's going to be walking around as humanoids. You know, there's going to be, I don't know, microscopic life of some form or variety somewhere. There's got to be. Alien bacterias and little planktons or whatever. Be so cool. Jeff Light says, yeah, they'd probably sit on it. Yeah, I think our government would. I don't know about the US. I don't really know that much about their politicians, whether they would or not. But I think over here they would be, oh, the public aren't, you know, ready to be told. And I think that would be wrong if that was the case. Because let people decide for themselves. So what, you know, I'm not being funny. If they found life tomorrow on a planet, what am I going to do to influence it? I can't do nothing about it. So why shouldn't they tell you? Definitely should be told. That's my opinion. But what would I know? Would be nice to think that they would let us know, but yeah. Jeff says, I can't imagine anything that could possibly be bigger news announcement. Exactly. It would be that, you know, finally, you know, that question of whether there's life out there has now been answered. And I would be pretty much, yeah, brilliant. And I think it would be a massive boost to the science community. And it's just one of those. I'd honestly think a lot of people would be mega interested in it. But knowing us, we'd want to go and locate it and kill it, because that's what man does. And it's like, yeah.
Back again.
All done, is it, mate?
Yeah, she's all settled in now.
Oh, bless her.
Where was I?
We're on about the possibility of life existing on other worlds.
100%.
It's got to, innit?
100%.
Yeah.
Simple fact for you. Here's a simple fact.
Go for it.
The Milky Way is theorized to have between, they don't really know for sure, but anywhere between 1 and 4 billion stars in it.
Yeah.
That's just the Milky Way. Okay. Andromeda is the nearest galaxy to us in our local cluster, and is in fact the largest galaxy in our local cluster. Excuse, like, there's various other galaxies in our local cluster, lots of nebula galaxy. Can't remember the word. Anyway, lots of different galaxies in our local cluster. The Andromeda galaxy is the largest of which, and it is believed, again, we don't know for sure, but it's believed based on mass and everything else and observations, to have over 1 quadrillion stars in it. So, no, it's not as massive as the Milky Way. The Milky Way's got more mass in it, but the Andromeda galaxy is estimated about 1 quadrillion stars. 1 quadrillion stars. I think that's like a trillion. Yeah, chances of there being another planet out there with life on it, with that many stars in just 2 galaxies?
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, and yet you've got 100 billion galaxies. Come on, there's life out there.
It's got to be in there.
Yeah. Even if you just play a numbers game to say there's no other life in the universe, even if it's just microbial life, to say there's no life out there, yeah, no. Even just as a numbers game, there's life out there. There's tons of it. It's everywhere, probably. Now, intelligent life, yeah, that's a different question. But who knows? One can hope.
Exactly.
Will we ever find it? Maybe, maybe not. The problem is all the distances.
It's like Marcy says, they'd probably sit on it anyway, like Area 51. Yeah. Bill Clinton.
Wow.
Area 51 doesn't exist. Yeah.
Area 51 was kept secret because it was where they developed the current secret stealth technology in spy planes and stuff. There's nothing to do with aliens there.
No.
But the thing you have to remember is, first of all, like I said before, you're a scientist and your entire purpose in life and career is to find life around the universe. You suddenly find life, you ain't going to listen to the government if they say don't tell anyone. You're going to be like, no, I'm a scientist, I do science, I'm not a government employee.
It would end up getting leaked in some capacity.
Second of all, it goes off the assumption that the only space agency in the world is NASA, which is complete nonsense. There's also JAXA and ESA and lots of other, and Roscosmos and lots of other space agencies that would happily not do what the American government wanted them to do. Plus, there's no reason to anyway. There'd be no reason to withhold it. What am I doing now? Tubes.
I think it would be daft if they did.
There's no way to do it. There's no way. It's like the old sort of amusing joke about people who think the moon landings were faked, and it's all a big hush hush conspiracy. It's like, listen, are you telling me that with the incompetence of any government in the last 50 years, all of which have been utterly incompetent, that they could keep a secret
Exactly.
that involves over 400,000 people? It's like they couldn't even cover up a blowjob in the White House.
Yeah.
Do you really think they can stop 400,000 people saying we didn't send somebody? There's over 400,000 people that worked in Apollo in various guises. Not all of them work for the government. Some of them work for Boeing and other companies. Do you really think any government in the last 50 years, every single government has been competent enough to keep that quiet?
Yeah.
And then the argument of, okay, but if it was Kennedy, was he Republican or Democrat? I can't remember.
Democrat, wasn't he? Kennedy? I don't honestly know.
So if it turns out that the moon landings were in fact fake, do you think every Republican president since then has wanted to keep it quiet? when he could have made hay on the fact that it was
Yeah.
fake and it was Democrats that faked it. Of course, it's yeah.
Yeah, out of interest, what party was Kennedy and our American friends? Was it? For some reason, I think he was a Democrat, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I thought he was, but I could be wrong. Yeah, but yeah, so no, there's no way any government is competent enough to keep that kind of thing secret over 50 years, and it's successive governments every 4 years. Come on now. There's no such thing as a government that competent. Tubes and pipes. That's my thoughts, Fox. But the distances are get tubes and pipes. Jeff Light says that's my thoughts, Fox. But the distances are too great. Yeah, the distances are so vast between stars that civilizations would have to have some hella technology that we can't even begin to comprehend.
Paul Lewis says, yeah, Kennedy was a Dem. Yeah, I had a feeling he was.
Yeah. So what you're saying is when people say the moon landings were a hoax, what you're saying is that every successive Republican president since Kennedy has been told that the moon landings were faked, but hasn't then said, this is why the Democrats are bad, because they faked the moon. Of course they would. They wouldn't cover it up. Yeah. There's a lot of conspiracy theories, most of them, that when you actually look at them in the cold hard light of day, you realise, no. Dee.
Yeah, but we all like a good conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
It's human nature, isn't it?
Yeah. I know too many people, though, that have ended up with harmful opinions, based on the fact they get sucked into all this crap. And then
yes, they
stop questioning things.
That's the danger, isn't it, of it all?
My favourite is always when somebody says sort of like a conspiracy theory, and you say, you explain to them why it's complete nonsense, and they say, "Oh, well, you're just the sheeple. You're just taking their word for it." And I'm like, "Well, you're just recanting what you read on a Facebook post or in a group on a forum. So you're doing
flat earthers. They're the ones.
Oh god,
always, yeah.
Good for a laugh.
Well, this is it, because they turn it into you're just a corporate bobbing head dog that follows the and it's like, well, where's your proof? Come on, where's your proof?
Well, it's not so much that. It's not even the fact that they've got no proof. It's the fact that no flat earther has ever come up with a good reason why.
Yeah, exactly.
They would make. It's like, what is the point of maintaining that? It's why would they want to? What's the benefit here? They've never come up with a good reason.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, the moment somebody says sheeple, they're an idiot, and they're because they are exactly what they're saying.
You've been brainwashed by the establishment. It's like, you don't know me very well. I am extremely anti-establishment.
Well, it's not that. They're saying you're just saying what they say. It's like, well, you're just reading something on the internet, not checking it, and then accepting it as fact and telling everyone else they're wrong. So the irony is strong.
Yeah, Ross is in saying hello, Ross.
Hey,
how
Ross.
you doing, mate?
Hello, Ross, my friend. Kahid welcomes you.
Contrary to popular belief, Ross, I'm not dead yet, mate.
Woo!
Good to see you in, mate.
There's a whole tube there I haven't painted. Ooh. Tube!
You're a tube.
You're made of tubes.
Panzer's in saying hello as well. Hello, Panzer. How you doing, mate?
Hello, hello.
Hope you're keeping well, fella. Must try and get into the Zoom at some point.
I'd say the same thing, but
yeah,
you just
normal service. Normal service should resume, hopefully. He says optimistically.
I'll never forgive the people that tried to reform ELO that weren't actually ELO.
Oh right, didn't realise they had disbanded. But...
Well, no, I mean ELO, they stopped making stuff, and then there's ELO 2, which I think was Mick Kaminsky and one of the other guys releasing an album under the name ELO 2. because every time I say the word hello in my head, I can hear one of their songs, which was hello, hello, it's good to see you. It wasn't very good.
Oh dear.
The whole album was absolutely dross. Because Jeff Lynne wasn't involved in it at all.
There lies the problem then.
Yeah. And it was like one song that was in the style of ELO, and then just loads of other songs that weren't.
Session album.
Yeah, kind of. It was like, yeah.
Was it up there with a Yes concept album?
No, because Yes concept albums actually weren't that bad. But this was like, it was like anybody who liked ELO, they wouldn't get anything out of it. Because, say, that first song on the album, which was all just synthesizer anyway, it had the feel of an ELO song, but like, it felt like somebody trying to do an ELO song who has a vague knowledge of ELO. But it was like Mick Kaminsky, who was the violinist, and I think Bev Bevan, who's the drummer, and that was it. It might have just been them two, and then a load of other people you never heard of. So it's like, it wasn't that good. Not my ELO.
Can't honestly say that I remember a lot of their stuff. I probably would if I heard it.
That's because you've got no taste. You clearly have no taste if you don't know all the songs in the world from Out of the Blue.
No, I can remember them being on the telly at the time. I think there was a Greatest Hits album somewhere. Or, you know, that in the record collection of my mum, but
yeah,
I wouldn't be able to reel off all their greatest tunes because I wouldn't say I was a massive fan. It was just
that's
stuff
the thing,
that was on.
See, a real man of discernment and taste would know all the lyrics to all the songs in Out of the Blue and all the lyrics in time.
That's just your opinion because you like them.
Yeah, but the thing about my opinion is absolutely right.
Oh, God. You kiss your mirror reflection every morning, don't you?
It kisses me. I'm that good.
You're a tit. You are a prize tit. You really are.
Yep. You wouldn't have me any other way.
I wouldn't. That's what makes you you, mate. That and your love of peas.
I like peas. They make me complete.
Can you do a beatbox in the voice?
No, you can't do a beatbox with voice. You don't use your voice. You can't do it. You can't really get. You can't really put voice into beatbox.
It worked, no?
No, because I don't have the skills for such a thing, sadly. Either that or that particular voice will never be destined to work on a beatbox.
Yeah, I did the beatbox once and got beaten up. Oh dear.
Did a beatbox once and couldn't keep time with myself. Pipes and tubes. A lot of effort goes into painting pipes and tubes, and yet when you finish them, they don't look that interesting, and they're just like,
no, it's just a pipe and a tube, isn't it?
Yeah, and nobody ever sees that. La 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 la.
So, are you streaming later on today a game or anything like that?
Yes, I shall be playing the Cyberpunks.
Oh, there you go.
Because I did my Iron Man stream today. I did the Dodge stream last week, so that's 3 boxes of each out of the way. So I've got in my big pile now. I've got to film the Star Wars catalogue thing, whatever that is. I'll do that next week. So I've only got 1 Dodge box at the minute, so it'll be another few months before I do my Partwork streams again. So I shall do some Cyberpunk again tomorrow.
There you go.
Come along and have a watch. You'll get to see what Cyberpunk's like if you play it slow and really slow.
Is that a subtle hint, is it? Yeah. This is something else that's been added to my list.
You said yesterday when I sent you that picture that you wanted to get the game for the reason, clearly, that you wanted to see ladies with big beepies.
Oh, that was just so wrong.
You say that, but the first line was, I must get that game.
Yeah, it didn't work out well, did it?
Here's a lady with a big beepis. Oh, I need that game. Wait,
It
something was
the,
said.
I like the graphics. For me, it reminds me very much of what was that bloody Blade Runner? That was it. Reminds me a bit of that and the Fifth Element, that type of futuristic type thing, you know. So.
Well, that's what cyberpunk is. It's a sort of dystopian near future.
Yeah.
Well, it's a bit cleaner than Blade Runner. It's not quite as grim and dark, but it does have that inexplicable society's heavily influenced by Japan for no real apparent reason. Nobody's ever explained why in cyberpunk and retro-futuristic stuff it's always like Japan is the major, it's like suddenly half the culture. It's like, well, why? It's not like that now. Why would it suddenly take over? Nobody's ever really explained that.
Yeah, it's just got an appeal to it, and it does look it does look a seriously sexy bit of gameage, but
it is an absolutely incredibly stunningly gorgeous game. When it first came out, it was garbage and trashed and panned.
Yeah, it had a lot of developmental problems, didn't it?
No, they just released it early, and they should have given it an extra year. But that was when it came out. Now they've fixed it a lot, and it's just absolutely, even on Xbox, and it's not even on like a top-end PC with full-on ray tracing. I mean, the game supports like they've actually got a setting for psycho ray tracing, which is incredible. But there's probably like 4 people in the world that have got a computer that could do that. So I suspect your computer wouldn't even begin to start to think about doing ray tracing. No. It's a challenge for even the latest RTX cards and stuff. So yeah, it's an absolutely gorgeous game. Absolutely fantastic. And it may not be the best game in the world, not the most exciting to play, but it's fun and I enjoy it.
Yeah, but for exploring the environment, which is what I kind of want to do in games, I like to have a good old nose round. At my own leisure, at my own pace.
Beat the devil out of it.
So yeah, if it enables you to do that, then yeah, it's up my street. So
I mean, it's one of those game worlds that's a mile wide and an inch deep.
Yeah.
It's not like you can walk into every building and that every NPC walking along is interesting. Most doors don't open, and most buildings are just fronts.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a fake world, but at the same time, it's a very engaging world to be in. Even just things like good lighting can make a game world so engaging. I can't see that cable to actually paint it.
Your eyes are seeing this, not very seeing. Is that what you're saying?
No, there's a dirty, great big missile in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some should put a big missile in the way.
Is that because some pilot glued the arms on?
Well, no, you couldn't really glue their missiles on afterwards anyway. I wouldn't like to try.
Nah.
They were so hard to get on there in the first place when they weren't painted. I've resolved it though. I've gone round from the other end.
Oh, good man.
Yeah, so it's not like, it's not the best game in the world, but it's an engaging game world. It's just fun to be in. The sounds and sights are captivating, and it's enjoyable. And I've still only got about 2/3 of the way through the story missions so far.
Really?
I'm just doing all the side quests and side jobs and stuff. Just my character's already leveled out on my own playthrough, max level, and I've not even finished all the little side quests and inconsequential jobs yet. But that's what I do. I love those kind of open world games. You tend to have like a main story, which is the quest, middle, beginning, and end. Lots of quests involved, and then you have like side jobs that don't affect the main story or don't have much of an effect in a lot of cases. And they're just like say in Skyrim, there's a lot of them are just little side quests. Little fun things, go to this cave, clear out some bandits, or little quests that don't have any bearing on the main storyline. Like in Skyrim, it's all about a civil war. Yeah. It's all about a civil war between the imperial government and the Nords. But there's loads of hundreds of other quests that have nothing to do with that. Yeah. And they don't affect it at all, they're just things to do. But yeah, all these games, they always have lots of little side jobs and side quests and things. So I always like to start off the storyline to get to the point where the world opens up. Because a lot of these games, you'll be like, You'll start off in the game world with some limited access, but not for the whole map.
Yeah.
Although Skyrim's a bit different, but you'll often find yourself like you've got this whole city to go through, but you can only walk around this one district for a bit until you've got this far in the storyline.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It's just training. It's just getting you all used to everything, which is not a problem.
Yeah.
And Cyberpunk's the same. You start off in one district till you've done a specific quest. But I like to get to that far to open up the whole map, and then I just go wandering.
Yeah.
Do all my side quests, get my character leveled up to maximum level, and then I'm way overpowered for the storyline, you see.
Yeah.
Because the storyline, it always assumes that you're playing through and leveling up as you're playing the storyline, so you start off with little enemies, and by the time you get to the end of the storyline, you've got the big hardcore enemies.
Yeah.
But I like to get maximum level, so by the time I get to the second mission, I'm fighting level 2 bad guys, and I'm like level 400 or something. It's like, yeah, I'm kicking your ass now.
I've got all of this to learn.
Oh yeah, you've got 20 years of good stuff to play with.
Steady Neris.
La la la. Rabbit says to Jeff says something. Were you successful convincing her something? And Rabbit says, not really. Facts don't seem to matter much to those who are completely bonkers. Chemtrails with mind control chemical. Oh, do you know the funniest thing I saw?
What's that, mate?
And it was real, apparently. Some pilot, they had like a commercial pilot. They were able to tweak the settings on their like instrument panel.
Yeah.
So they've got this like panel in the middle of the instrument panel, and it's like a navigation thing where you put in your whatever.
Yeah.
But they've changed it so it says chemtrails on off. And it's got other settings like chemtrails, poison gas cloud on off.
So it's all tweaks that you're going to be looking at doing now.
What?
All them tweaks with the chemtrails and that, is that stuff you're going to be doing as well then?
Hey? No, I'm just saying about the conspiracy theory stuff.
Oh, right, sorry.
Chemtrails are a conspiracy theory.
Dear.
It's people, get this right. You know, like when a plane goes through cold air
Yeah.
and water condenses off the wing and you get them trails?
Yeah.
The condensation trails or
Yeah.
contrails.
Yeah.
And they've been around ever since planes were invented.
Yeah, you get them on Formula One cars as well.
Yeah, some people believe that it's actually the government getting these planes to release chemicals that are there to cool the population of Earth.
Fucking
Well,
hell, really?
The funny thing is, right, first of all, it's like, yes, it's the Illuminati. They're trying to reduce the population of the world by poisoning us all with these. It's like, hang on a minute. First of all, and this is where the screen in the cockpit with chemtrails on. First of all, does that mean that every commercial airline pilot is in on it? Because do they have a button that says turn the chemtrails on, and how do they keep them all quiet? Second of all, how do the Illuminati, if they're releasing chemicals into the air to cool the human population, how do they not get affected by it?
Yeah, how are they not breathing it in? Yeah.
Yeah, seeing as when they release them at 30,000 feet, they go everywhere.
Yeah.
And the conspiracy theorists are like,
Yeah, everything's to do with the Freemasons and the Rothschilds, isn't it?
yeah, they're putting things in the water, really? How are they not drinking it then?
Yeah.
Some people are just idiots. Yes, you've got all this gaming goodness to come, and I'm very jealous. There's so many games you'll be able to experience for the first time ever, and I'm like, oh! It's like watching Baby's First Steps. Baby's first proper poop. And I'm very jealous. Very, very jealous.
Yeah, you were saying you're like, yeah.
I would love nothing more than to be able to go back in time, or just to blank my memories completely of some of the games I've played, so that I could play them from new again.
Why is that then?
Just because there are some games that you can play over and over again. Like when I was younger and when Halo first came out, I used to play for 3 or 4 years. I'd just sit there over an evening and just play through each mission over and over again because I enjoyed it so much. And that wasn't so much the story, just playing the missions, but it was so new to me that I could do that. But most games, though, it's like, unless they've got a really good gameplay loop and you can play missions over and over again like that, they're very story-based nowadays. So a lot of games you can play them once or twice, but like playing Half-Life 2. Half-Life 2 was an amazing game when you first play it. Because it was cutting edge. It was like, wow, look at all this physics engine stuff. Once you've played it, you can't go back and play it again, because by the time you finish playing it and you move on to other games, it's old hat. And you also know the story and you know all the puzzles, and you can't experience it again for the first time, and that takes it away.
See you later, Jeff. By the way, Jeff lights off, folks. He's popping to bed.
Take care, Jeff.
Take care, mate.
Yeah. There are games that you can play over and over for forever, but there are games that just that count on your initial reaction.
Yeah.
And like Portal is a good example. Portal is a great game. It's a hilarious, funny game, and it's like a fantastic brain puzzler type game.
Yeah.
Really makes you work to solve each puzzle.
Yeah.
But once you've done it, you can't forget the puzzles.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a series of like test chambers, and you have to use the equipment in the test chambers to get out the test chamber. It's basically a puzzle platformer.
Yeah.
And it's very cleverly written as well. A lot of the game is the dialogue that happens during you solving it. But once you know the solution to each of the puzzle chambers, there's nothing there. When you go and play it again, you're like, well, I know how to solve it now. So. Games like
I'll endeavour to get some gaming streaming up.
Yeah. Now we've got a potential new technology.
Yeah. I do
it means
need
I should join you.
Do need to pull my finger out.
No, there's no. I wouldn't say that. I'd say I'm not talking about you streaming it. You don't have to stream anything, but you will benefit from embracing video games.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would, but I think you will more for your situation as well. It's
yeah, for my dexterity and that, because that's the one thing I've noticed, especially in the last year, that is plummeting rapidly. And
And the thing is, if it gets to the point where you can no longer really do any modelling, you've still, there are probably other things as well, but gaming is one thing that you can probably keep on doing and still do on the YouTube.
Yeah.
So you can still keep your window on the world. So it's worth embracing it.
Yeah, it does impact you. You lose certain abilities. It just goes, and it is frustrating. But it's like anything: you improvise, adapt, and overcome. You look at new ways of achieving things, but probably not to the standard you're used to, and that's quite difficult in this hobby because we like to build to a certain level. And but what'll be will be.
I mean, that's why. I mean, I've often egged you about playing games, but that's because for the last few years, I've had that in mind that at some point you're not going to be able to do this anymore.
Well, yeah,
you notice
it a lot before I do, don't you? Where you pick up on things.
But it's like, it would be a real shame for you to have to give up on this YouTube channel because, like you said, this is your window to the world, and you've got a nice little community growing up.
Yeah.
And I've always pumped you about games because it's like, at some point, that's the thing you'll be able to put on the channel.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be intense games. It could be simple games. It could be any kind of game. At least it's content you could make, and you could keep your community.
Yeah.
So that's why I've always egged you a little bit because, not that you need it, but you do a little bit sometimes.
Oh, yeah, because I do get a bit blinkered. It's like, that's what the channel is. It's a modelling channel, and that's it. And it's like, but you can do this. There's no law against you doing that. There's no one saying you can't,
Yeah, the channel is your channel that you can do whatever you want on. And that's the way it is.
It gives you possibilities for when that time does come.
Yeah.
But, will it
that's the thing,
stop me gooning around like a child? No, of course it won't.
And that's the other thing. The other thing I thought of as well was, and one of the reasons I sort of got you into Gunpla a little bit was, when it gets to the point where a lot of the things we do for modelling is a challenge for you, there's always Gunpla because they are just assembly. There's no painting required.
Yeah, exactly.
So it may be that,
that's why I've got a couple of Gundams, I've got some Lego, I've got, just other options, other strings to the bow, just in case, because I don't know what's round the corner. I can't answer that.
No. But like I say, that's the thing. If painting and fiddly stuff gets too much for you, just start building Gundams.
Oh, yeah.
You could get really into Gundams. You could start watching the anime. You could get a massive collection. There's a big popular thing for Gunpla.
Yeah.
And if you're not painting them, it could be quite a, you know, even I'd enjoy Gunpla if I didn't have to paint them.
Yeah.
I got burnt out trying to paint them all. So...
It's one of
but
those,
that's why
you have to future plan. You've got to future proof the channel and what you do, and
yeah,
you know. And I think we've all got that to a degree, but yeah,
like you said, it's your legacy for your family. That, and it'd be a shame to have to stop it just because you can't do the models anymore. You don't need to.
That's it. You know, it's when I'm long gone. Me boys can sit there and go, "Look at the old man being a right tit there," you know, and
yeah. I mean, there's nothing stopping you just being a talking head type channel where you just talk about stuff. It doesn't really matter what you're doing.
Well, I've got the 3D printing stuff as well, the electronic stuff.
Yeah.
Bits and pieces I'm currently filming. Things like the Xbox controller, the tear down of that, and now I'm going to sort that out and fix it. And so, you know, I need to voice that over actually to get that up on the channel because, because, you know, there's going to be other people that have got one of them that may have a similar issue, and if it helps them out.
Yeah. That's what we like to call having a friend who is so inept he thinks his controller's knackered and gives it to you for free when it's actually just need a software update, and there you go, free controller.
Yeah, it's still got its rattly thing rattling around inside.
Yeah.
Which I think it's part of the potentiometer come off, so...
Yeah, that sounds good. I don't know what that means.
So, yeah, it will get stripped down and a full teardown video will be made.
Good lad.
Just in case it happens again, mate, at least you'll know what to do then. It'll be, Cole, I'm sending you this in a jiffy bag. Please fix it. Okay, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, expecting me to ever actually fix something like that is never going to happen. That's never, ever going to happen.
Yeah, the safer option would be... Yeah, I'll pay the postage, Fox. You send it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll pay the postage. I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Sure.
Although, bizarrely, when I was younger, every time I got a synthesizer, whether it was new or old, like second-hand, it was a vintage or a modern thing, the first thing I did, apart from reading the book cover to cover on how to use it, one of the first things I did for all of them was open them up and
have a
get
good
to the
looky
interior and have a looky loo. And what I did was, there'll be people out there now with a Roland W30,
Yeah.
a Yamaha CS1X, there'll be a Yamaha DX7, DX21, there'll be a Korg Poly 6, there will be some MIDI controller keyboard, I can't remember what it was. And there'll also be a Tascam 388 reel-to-reel 8-track studio recorder.
Yeah.
All of which inside will have little stickers and little messages. Because I used to open them up and have a look inside, and some of the times I had to fix them. But I used to write things inside them. Probably really childish things now, and really embarrassing things if anybody ever found them, but still. It was just a thing I did.
Paul says, and all else fails, check out Gunpla Melly's channel. You'll put put lead in your modelling pencil. Just saying. I do not know of whom you speak.
Yes, I can just imagine what that channel's like. Not know what colours. Let's have a look at it. Oh, I've got no reference material. I need to look at. I don't know what colours to paint my little things on the bits at the back. I might do the big skull as white.
The big skull as white.
But what do I do with the little skull as?
Your choice, mate. Your model.
Higgity biggity biggity. But if I do a dry brush for that, then it's going to be the wrong. I'm going to get. I want to keep the bit that we're all stuck on as rusty, but if I dry brush colour over it, it's not going to be rusty. I can't just colour on the back because it's not going to stay rusty. Oh, it's got... Yeah, I'm talking myself out.
No, you carry on.
I could always dry brush that bit again, rusty. Yeah, I suppose. Maybe.
Good for us to hear Fox's thought processes.
I wouldn't say the word process. It's more like... and then I come to a decision. That's kind of my thought process and how it works, pretty much.
Okay, that's good enough.
Yeah. I don't use actual words. I think corn red for the skull on the top.
Oh, there you go.
Corn with a KH. Corn red. Dry brushing, of course.
You're
like
good.
all the big boys.
You're good.
Dry brushing, like all the big boys do. I'll use this dry brush that's already covered in red paint that I can't get off.
Could be worse. It could be like mine and have bristles so splayed out.
They're almost so laid back. They're almost laid out.
Yeah, that's my new diorama brush. That is. Yeah. Yeah, you've got thousands and thousands of hours of gaming fun. And it's everything from simple, like, linear first-person shooters that you just go through in a few hours, and things to, like, big, long, drawn-out RPGs and open-world games, and, just so much. You're really envious now, aren't you?
Well, it's, yeah, because to me... I've played all the games that I want to play, and I just have to wait for new games to come out that might tickle my fancy.
Yeah.
But for you, you've got, like, if I could start again, I'd have all these games that I could play again for the first time.
Yeah, I've got like a 30-year back catalogue, haven't I?
Yeah, and I'm like, I have to wait for new games to come out that might tickle my fancy. But they're just there waiting for you, all of them. You get to play Halo for the first time, and Half-Life 2, and Gears of War, maybe, and all these games.
You hate me now, don't you?
Wolfenstein, the 2011 Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
So jelly. So jelly, eyes smelly. And you've got all the old classics. You get to play Medal of Honor. Well, no, you don't actually, unless you've got an Xbox 360. You don't get to play that one.
No.
Just, man, so much you get to play for the first time, and it's all new to you.
Exactly. It's an unexplored world.
You know what's going to be really adorable?
What's that, mate?
Right, is like you're going to be there, right, and you're going to be bursting with excitement about some game you've just played, and you want to tell everybody.
Yeah.
But everybody would have had that conversation like 15 years ago.
Yeah, and it'll be like, yeah, he's excited over a 15-year-old game.
It's like, you'll be like, I was playing Halo last night, and this thing, and then this, and I'm like, yeah, we had this conversation around the water cooler 20 years ago, but
yeah,
and you'll be there full of all this information like it's the world's most newest game, and it'd be so adorable to watch that. That'd be awesome. But you get to experience to experience Portal and Portal 2 for the first time again will be just outstanding. That is some of the best writing in games. To play the Stanley Parable for the first time. The Stanley Parable is a game that you get to play once and once alone. You can only play, there's many endings and you have to get them all, but you can only play the Stanley Parable once. You cannot play it a second time. It's just not possible. And if you ever play it, you'll understand why you can't play it. If anybody out there has played the Stanley Parable, you'll understand why you can't play it more than once. I was debating whether to do a live stream of it, but I can't play it again. Because the whole point of the Stanley Parable is you sit there going, wait, what? No. You didn't just, you did. You can't play it a second time. And if you do it for a live stream and you already played it, you can't pretend not to know what's going to happen.
So if you sit there and wonder, folks, in 6 months' time, whatever happened to that Festa bloke? You'll know.
He's gone.
You'll know.
He's in the land of
discovered gaming.
Yeah, he may have accidentally started playing Persona 4, and that's your last you'll see of him for months. I remember this chap called Festa, and then he found JRPGs. It didn't end well.
Yeah. Now known as Festa Game Basher.
Yeah. Festa controller thrower. If you don't do well.
Good God, no,
Do you reckon
I wouldn't do that.
Do you reckon you... yeah, I'm not a controller thrower.
No, I wouldn't dream of doing it because it's a gift.
It's like...
To me, that would be insulting you.
Well, the thing is, I mean, as I've got older, I have less and less patience with games. So when they treat me badly, I just go, oh, and I put the game away and I put it away and never play it again. Like in the old days, I'd play a game to completion and I'd fight my way through it. But nowadays, I'm too old and I don't care enough. it's gone are the days when I play a game and see the titles at the credits at the end.
Yeah.
Unless it's a good game. So that's why I play on easy now, because I've lost my patience. I've not got the patience. Halo was the first game I ever actually truly finished.
Yeah,
many times.
Games finished with Sonic, Grim Fandango.
Never finished Sonic.
Yeah, no, but...
Mind you, that was before I was into gaming, so...
Yeah, and it was... I don't know, I never really got heavily into it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having these conversations now, whereas my two boys are avid gamers.
Yep.
You know, and they both have said, you've got consoles down there, why don't you just get into it? And I said, well, I didn't fancy just switching it on, setting it all up and getting killed within 2 minutes. It's like, I want to go off and explore worlds and get to know the environment I'm in. And I think I was just choosing the wrong genre of games, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's where it's handy if you know people that play games, because then they can say, well, here's the kind of game you might enjoy.
Yeah.
Because if you want things like that, and then later on you can go and try and find other kind of games.
Yeah, I was never really big into the shoot 'em up type thing, you know. And
no.
Whereas, you know, a bit like yourself, you know, something like Cyberpunk, it's like, oh yeah, you can have a good looky-loo around it. It's a nice environment. You can chillax, take it as you leave it, and yeah.
I mean, make no mistake, it's a first-person shooter, but it's a first-person shooter with light role-playing elements.
Yeah.
Like Borderlands. Borderlands is a first-person shooter first and foremost, but it's also a looter shooter. It was the first looter shooter.
Yeah.
Where it's all about the loot, you pick up the weapons. So that's a first-person shooter with RPG elements. There's not really a lot of exploration in Borderlands. It's just crazy good fun.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of silly and ridiculous.
Bit of rust.
Good humour in that.
Beginning on the grot tank, as we can.
A little bit of rust. Do you know what? I'm loving Orc. And do you know why I'm loving Orcs?
Why is that, mate?
Because you can do it all dry brushing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like garbage.
Orc is freedom.
Orc is just lazy fun. Because I like dry brushing. It's so easy. It's much less hassle than airbrushing. And yet, on Orc stuff, it looks spot on.
Yeah.
Like, I've just done a 3-colour dry brush on this skull now. Which, if I'd done it with an airbrush, would have taken me about an hour.
Yeah.
But with the dry brush, it's like a couple of minutes each coat. And if it looks a bit rough and ready, well, it's not even had a wash on it yet.
Doesn't matter. It's Orc.
I'm not even convinced that I'll end up putting a lot of washes on this. I've not even put any shade on this yet at all.
Yeah.
And I might not need to. I might need to put shade on like the metallic bits. Because the rest of it's looking kind of all right. There you go. What do you think of that? What do you think of that skull there? If I get it on camera. Where's the camera?
Right. Oh, yeah. Love it. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
It's you can't really see because the camera's not really very good. It's too close, but it's good. I'm going to do some light, some orange on there, I think, just to brighten it up because it's a bit pink. Let's do some.
Yeah, Edward says it's terrible that people who put in a lot of work on their channels and offer real advice and modelling get shit. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do what?
Edward Leonard's on about people that get grief on their channels and that. Yeah, it's one of those. When I first started doing YouTube, people said you got to have a very, very thick skin because you're exposing yourself to all the pond life out there that all they seem to want to do is hate on people. And I've had a lot of that. I'm not the only one who's had a lot of it. If that's what people want to do, if that's what gets their rocks off, have at it. Because all the time they're hating on me content, they're actually giving me views.
Yep. I mean, I've always kind of been aloof and just been like, okay, do what you want. And then when you ignore it like that, they don't. After a while, they give up because they don't get a response. So I used to get a little bit of it at first, but because I just ignored it, I think generally the word got round. They just gave up.
Well, you're depriving the oxygen thief of their oxygen.
Yep.
You know, and it's like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, you've put a shitty comment on my video. Yeah, well, I'll just delete it. There you go. Dealt with.
Oh, yeah. I went on there and gave him a thumbs down. It's like, you wasted 10 minutes of your life. Yeah, I'm in your head. Thanks for the interaction on my channel that YouTube's counted. Bye.
Yeah.
Tell all your friends, get them to come and do it as well.
Yeah. And that's the good thing. I just ignore it.
Yeah.
You do it for long enough, and they realise there's nothing to gain with it, and they just give up.
Well, we all go through that stage, don't we, as YouTubers, where negativity can, if you allow it, get to you. And you just have to develop a large dose of don't give a F-itis.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it's quite enlightening, really.
Yeah. I mean, I've always kind of been a case of, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, yeah. I used to get rivet counted terribly when I first started. And it's like, yeah, but I don't care that, you know, you haven't seen a London bus with an AC/DC poster on it. Who cares? It's a plastic model kit. It's not, you know, there's global problems going on. This is a plastic kit built by a fat middle-aged man. Yeah, get with it.
Get your priorities right.
Yeah, you know, there's real shit going on out there.
Yep. Always makes me laugh when somebody puts like, this video is crap on your video that's got like 20,000 views, and you're like, okay, so that's 1 out of 20,000. I can live with that.
Yeah.
Or you get one that says, well, this video is crap because you did this and you didn't do this and you did that.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at your videos. Oh, none. There you go.
Yeah, that's the one I had ages ago. I think I told you about it, didn't I? Where it was, you know, this, you know, real nasty thing. It was, I had the shakes in one of my videos. Oh, your things would be better if you stopped shaking. And well, I got MS, mate, but sorry about that. You know, shit happens.
If you stop shaking it.
Yeah, you know, they was being quite a dick. And it's like, well, I've just been on your channel and been through your zero content. Could you give me some sound advice then on your medical opinion? Because I've gone the length and breadth of the UK looking for information on MS. Perhaps I need to book an appointment to come and see you, being that you're the latest resident expert.
Yeah.
And I thought, sod it, I've got to call you out. And yeah.
I just delete the comment.
Well, this is it. That's why all my comments now get pre-approved. It's like, yeah. Because, you know, we both do this as a business at the end of the day. The last thing you need is people seeing negativity like that.
Well, I mean, it's like, if somebody puts a stonky comment on there, I'm not going to delete it because it's being critical of my content. I mean, I'm a big boy.
But if it's
if it's abusive, I'm like, that's,
you know, if it's sweary, nasty, vindictive venom, I ain't been funny. I'm not going to have that on my channel.
Wow, I've just painted this skull to be red, and I put some yellow on it, and now it just looks like rust.
Oh, you're good, you are. Is that what you intended?
It just looks like rust.
Yeah.
That's not what I intended at all.
Oh, right. I was just about to big you up then and go, oh, was that what you intended? No.
It was supposed to be red, and I put some orange in there. I'll see if I can zoom in it. I put some orange in there to make it look interesting. And then
it's gone back to its rusty colour.
Yeah, kind of. I'll put myself full screen and see if I can get a decent...
yeah, no worries, mate.
Let's have a look. I've got to figure out how to...
Oh, yeah, because you're having zoomy problems now, aren't you?
No, not anymore. It's just I've got to try and figure out how to actually...
yeah, you're just off shot there, mate.
I know. I've got my thing up. I'm trying to...
Yeah, I'm just been annoying.
I know.
Left a bit, right a bit, up a bit, up down a bit. Have you done it yet?
Shut up. I can't hold it straight, unfortunately.
I had heard.
It's Filthy, dirty little bugger.
I had a friend once.
Now it's bizarre because in that shot it looks like it's made of like molten metal, but it's not actually that bright orange.
Yeah, it does look a bit lava-y.
That looks like a really beautiful airbrush job that you'd be proud of, but it's only because the webcam makes it look all smooth. Like the actual red bit at the top is. I'll see if I can.
You're in 640 by 480 then, are you? I had a friend once.
I'm in P resolution.
Yeah.
I like P's. No, it's actually, well, I can't quite get it looking like it actually looks like.
I was asked for my IP once and told them I didn't have a specimen bottle. They mocked me for hours.
I'll never work in tech support again. That's nowhere near. It's slightly darker than that. It doesn't look as bright and glowing as that, but you get the idea.
It looks really sexy on camera, mate.
Yeah, in reality, it's most disappointing.
Yeah, you're like,
I've
got to keep my camera like that forever now.
Like Duncan says, if you ever meet me in real life.
Oh, yeah, I love that quote. That's brilliant, yeah. Duncan quote or galore, that, innit?
Yeah. If you ever meet me in real life, I'm sorry. I'm actually quite disappointing. Yeah. Bless him. Ha la 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 la.
Edward Leonard says, looks good to me.
Thank you. I can't. I know what I can do. I know what I can do.
Yeah.
I know what I can do. No, I can't. Yes, I can. No, I can't.
Yes, you can.
I could. You know what? I'm thinking. I'm thinking I could put like a. Oh, hello, you going uns?
Yeah. Well, you said you was in
I know what I can do.
deep fault, and when you're in deep fault, you do beatbox, and I thought,
you know what I can do?
do it. He's gone very quiet as he dropped out. Dum, dum, dum. Lamenter's yellow. Excalibur music. Dun, 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 dun.
That's why I went quiet, because I was showing you my favourite thing. For some reason, I've only got 4 pots of it. Oh dear.
Yeah, I had to make do with my homebrew version, but it works.
If it works, it works. Oh, there's a little thing crawling across my desk. Zip. It's gone. Tiny little creature the size of a molecule.
So you don't want to get arrested there, mate.
I've not found any new. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to absolutely put this in my non-spillage pot. Can't afford to spill the Mentos yellow.
No, I will mock you if you do.
Yeah, I would just have to go off and become a nun if I did. I want to make this not look like rust.
Would there be big tears?
I would have to just shut down my channel and never work again. So I want to make it look not like rust. I was going to put some Fuegan orange glaze on it, but I realised that will just make it look like rust even more. So at least if I put a yellow glaze on it, it should make the orange and yellow look a bit more yellowy, and just bring it out a little bit and make it a little less dull and more like not rust coloured. It'll just hopefully make the little yellow bit in the middle pop. I can foresee with this, you know, that I probably won't end up doing a lot of weathering on this at all, because I'm kind of doing it as I'm going along.
Well, the thing is, you've done it the right way at first, didn't you? You rusted it first, and that saved you a lot of time. But
it's things like shades and stuff. I'm not feeling the big massive urge to put a shade on the blue parts, on the blue armour at all, because I'm really proud of the dry brushing I did, and I don't want to ruin that.
Don't put a shade on them.
I know, but that seems heretical. And I'm going to do like some. I know I'll do some enamel paint weathering later.
This
like
is almost like a new technique for you, though, isn't it? So you're doing the learnings of it as you're going along. So
I'm learning things in my brain. It's 2:20. I've heard no alarms. Oh, it's 2:30, isn't it? She has to get up.
Yes, 2:30, mate.
I panicked then a little bit. Let's have a look at chat. Coronation chicken, because I'm using corn red. Very good. Pounds a cat. On this day in 1965, Thunderbirds premiered, says Jeff.
Thunderbirds.
Yep. Edward Lenner says, I'll rephrase that. Flipping people, if you don't like it, then don't watch it. Don't bitch and complain and leave shitty comment. Troll.
Yeah, honestly, mate, it's like anything. People take a personal dislike and it's like, yeah, get over yourselves.
Yeah. If I watch a video that I'm not enjoying, I just stop watching it and I go off and watch something else.
Yeah.
I don't waste 5 minutes writing a comment. Unless it's so bad, unless it's, for example, Norm trying to paint a space battleship Yamato, in which case I do leave a shitty comment.
Yeah.
Because I had a somewhat a moral obligation to leave a shitty comment on that one.
I have, you know, my mantra. If I go in and I watch a video on someone's channel, first thing I do, I leave a thumbs up. If I enjoy the video, I subscribe.
Yeah.
And ring the bell. And then I leave them a message. Thoroughly enjoyed your video, mate. You've just got yourself a well-deserved sub. Job done. Mm-hmm. It's nice to be nice, isn't it?
It's nice to give feedback.
You know, and 9 times out of 10, you get a lovely comment. Thanks for that, mate. That's all right, you know.
Yeah. I mean, there are times when I leave, like, a bad feedback, but it's usually only if I've got something constructive. Like, if somebody's done a video and it's all on handheld and it's horrible to watch, I'll just say, you know, I enjoyed your content, but have you thought about not having it as a handheld camera? Because it's really annoying to watch.
Mm.
So I'm not being bitchy. I'm not being bitchy.
That.
Well,
that's
I would
just because don't get me wrong, I'm not criticising you for doing it. I would just feel cruel doing it.
Well, to me, it's more like a case of, if I just said, I can't watch a video because of the wobbly camera, but I might say, I enjoyed the content, but have you thought about this? And it's really just in a way to say, you'd make a lot better content. It's not trying to help them out, saying, you know, it'd be easier to watch if you didn't have the handheld camera, for example. I'm trying to leave a little helpful comment. I wouldn't just go, well, this is shit, I can't watch it because you handheld camera, you're an idiot.
No, if it's something I haven't particularly enjoyed, I just don't go and watch the content anymore.
No. I treat it as a teaching. If I can maybe show them something. That's the wrong colour I've just used. If I can say, here's how you can make it better, then I'll do that. But if I can't, then I won't bother. I don't think I'm experienced enough to do that, so I choose not to. It's just personal choice, you know. It's I used the wrong colour. Go. Beat up, beat up, beat up, beat up. Isn't it funny though when you go back and look at some of your early content? Oh God, we were all useless when we were early. Oh yeah. It's like you know, if I watch a video, and I've watched videos where it's been good, but they've left in all the stuff you normally edit out. Yeah. Like, you know, spending 10 seconds sorting out the camera to stop it filming, or here, let me get this thing. A 1 minute and a half minute pause while they get the thing to put on camera. It's like you could have edited it. So I'll often leave things like, yeah, good content, la la la. However, you might want to perhaps edit out the dead. Just to make it more watchable. If I can say something good and then give advice, I will. If I've only got bad things to say, I probably won't. Nah. Because if it's a good video otherwise, then I'll leave comment. But if it's bad content and it's badly made, I'm just not going to bother. I probably won't get that far into it anyway. But I'll always, if I can help someone out, I'll always try to. Now, I think what I'm going to do on this big skull is do a real light dry brush, so it looks mostly rusty. He's good, isn't he, folks? And then put some like nice white patches Stuart Bremner's in saying hello. Hello, Stuart. How you doing, mate? Hello, Stuart. He says, I've just finished work. Now he's just waiting until it's home time. Happy days, mate. As long as you had a good evening's work, mate, or a good night's work. Yeah. Nice of you to pop home in, time, mate, and keep us company, and safe journey home and all of that. Yep, home time is the best time. Actually, that's a lie. The best time is when you wake up an hour before your alarm has to go off and you get to have that hour snooze. Because that in the winter, that's the best snooze. Oh, yeah. For some reason. Being able to go back to sleep for that last hour. I did it earlier. I got back from medical stuff and where I'd been pulled about a bit
too much. It was, I'm just going to go and lay down for an hour. Mate, I was like a Swiss roll, mate, wrapped up in a duvet. I may have woke myself up with my own snoring.
Oh, jolly good. Well, sometimes it's that thing, like, they say that being a middle-aged bloke and having to get up in the night is a curse. But sometimes getting up in the middle of the night, going for a wee, and then knowing when you get back in, you can curl up and make a little burrito out of your duvet. That's the best sleep.
Yeah.
That's when you go to bed and it's just bedtime. You just get, but when it's like it's the middle of the night and you've got up for a wee and it's cold and you get back into bed, that's the best time of all.
Yeah, you're like a little caterpillar, aren't you? Just like yeah.
Them's are the best sleeps. That warm, toasty, snoozy bedtime burrito.
Oh, Mrs. Creasy's up. She says, I see one eye poking out. She said, and a foot. She said, and the rest of you is just buried. And it's like, yeah,
this is correct.
But it's like she said, at least you slept.
Yeah, which for you is a miracle enough, anyway.
Oh yeah, I find now whenever I've had a lot of pulling about like that, easier just to go to bed, have a nap, because it takes the discomfort away straight away, doesn't it? Because you've slept
but,
it off.
Any sleep you can get is good sleep. So.
Oh bloody hell, yeah. But,
because you're not the best sleeper in the world, are you?
no, on average I lose 2 nights a week at least. It's one of them. Is what it is, mate, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, one of the medications I'm on right now, I won't discuss what it is, but
no.
Let's just say one of the things I take every day, one of the pills I take every day, the doctor says to me, there's various side effects. One of them is your dreams might change a bit. You might dream a bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that doesn't sound like a bad side effect. She's not wrong. Crikey, Riley. I'll tell you what,
Vivid.
like in the last 6 months, right, I've gone from my typical dreams were like, oh, I'm in this car, but it doesn't quite work right. Perhaps the pedals are too close together and I can't, or the brakes aren't quite working, or it's the seat's a bit too small for me, but it's really boring. Or they'll be like just boring kind of same thing every night, not interesting dreams. Oh, look, I'm in an office, but I'm worried about being late. Oh. And I've got to tell you now, I'm having some right old adventures in my dreams now. It's all kinds of cast of characters and everything. Wow!
I've been a swashbuckling pirate. I've been in like an Indiana Jones type world where I've been a treasure hunter. I've been a home guard bloke in the war. Oh, mate, and you're proper into it, you know. And it's like, I've been an Edwardian gent wearing a monocle and a top hat.
Oh, proper steampunk.
Yeah,
but it's like
it's really weird stuff.
I know, but it's really good because it's even to the point where now one thing I've started having is dreams where I'm in a dream and I'm an observer.
Yeah.
I'm not even taking part. I'm just watching something happen.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating because it's almost like watching like a film or a movie, but I'm kind of there but not there in the dream.
Yeah.
I'm aware that I'm there, but I'm really just an observer of it. So it's not me taking part, it's me just watching all these characters do things.
Yeah.
And I wake up and I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh, Wendy's in. Hello, Wendy. You just spotted you
Hello,
in the
Wendy.
chat. How you doing, darling? Yeah, sorry, Fox.
Hello, Wendy Pop. So it's like, it's really... But then again, I've had some really weird ones as well, but I can't think of any now. But
have you ever had them dreams where you wake up and then you're still in the dream, if that makes sense? You wake up in the dream, but you're still you're still dreaming. It's really weird, isn't it, that? And then you go through, when you first wake up, you go to the loo or whatever, but you're not quite sure whether you're still in the dream still. It's really weird.
And then sometimes you do it and you go through that a few times and you think, oh, this situation's really bad. And then but sometimes in the dream you'll think, oh, hang on, I'm only dreaming, so I'll wake up in a minute and everything will be fine.
Yeah.
There's the alarm. I wake up in a minute, and then you wake up. But then it turns out you're still in the dream anyway.
Yeah.
But you have that moment of, I'm in a dream. I like that alarm sound.
Oh, sorry, is it going off? Oh, I didn't realise.
Okay, you have to change that then. I guess that didn't register on your hearing.
No, I didn't hear it, but I wondered why why my wrist was vibrating. It's
I guess you'll be changing that ringtone again then.
Yeah, didn't hear sod all there, mate. Sorry. It's
Well,
like,
I thought I'd better mention it. I'm sure you probably heard it, and I thought you're probably just busy painting, but I'll try and say something that makes it out like your alarm's going off, but wow. I'll keep my ear out for the shower. Yeah. I'd go for the more shrill, piercing one, perhaps. Yeah, so I like those dreams where you're in some peril and you think, oh, hang on, I'll wake up in a minute. It'll be fine. I'm only in a dream. And then you wake up, but you're still in the dream.
And then you sit there and you're like, what on earth prompted me to dream that?
Yeah. But then you get those dreams where your brain is trying to just break you or something.
Yeah.
You have a dream like where, not like you're dying or anything, but you have a dream where, for example, something happens in the dream that's really upsetting or makes you sad.
Yeah, I've woke up and I'm like, did that just happen? And I'm thinking that the gloom that I've dreamt has actually really happened. It's horrible, that.
Yeah, it's like when you dream and you fall out with someone in the dream, or you have an argument, or somebody dies in the dream, and you're like, what did I dream that for?
Yeah.
And then sometimes you just have these dreams and you wake up and you're like, whoa, my brain is broken and it's effed.
I do the Bill and Ted voice. Holy shit, man. What did you just dream there, dude? Dude, that was some scary shit. It's like,
I'm like, dude, you're not supposed to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
You're only hurting yourself when you do that, brain. Bless it.
Yeah, it does confuse you.
I think sometimes my brain forgets that when it makes something sad happen in a dream, it's doing it to itself.
Yeah, I think we're on a slightly similar medication where that's happening, but
yes. But it's great though, because it's like I've gone from having these boring, tedious dreams.
Yeah, my dreams used to be crap. Now it's brilliant, mate.
So, oh look, I'm in a car and I've bumped it and it's got a bit of a bump and I'm really upset. And
I loved being a pirate.
God, yeah. To the weirdest things. I seem to keep having the dreams where I'm in, like, not this house, but a house, and I'm in a bedroom. Yeah. But the bedroom perhaps has got some holes in the roof, or the roof's caved in. So there's plants and things growing in the room.
Yeah.
And maybe in the bedroom, the mattress is all sort of wet and damp because there's water everywhere. And I keep having dreams where I'm in a bedroom that's my bedroom. But it's nothing like my actual bedroom. But it's always the same in this dream, and it's like, I can see it now, a big long wide window with like a roof below it of like an extension.
Yeah.
And a big garden. And it's always the same, and I'm like, well, it's not a garden actually, or a room actually, no, for reality. So where's it getting this room from that it's showing me? Why?
It's what
Why does my brain
it,
do this? Yeah. And it's always like, for some reason, it's like this bedroom's got a long window where you can just step out of the window onto this like little walkway that's just above like an extension roof. So you can walk out along the window. Oh.
Isn't it weird though what the brain can do to you?
Oh yeah.
It's just mad.
I remember once I had a dream. And in the dream, it was like what? It was like watching an episode of a sitcom, like something like Friends, but not shit.
Yeah.
It was like watching something like Friends, but I was sat on the sofa watching it all go on around me.
Yeah.
And I remember in the dream, it was hilarious. It was like the funniest comedy sketch writing ever. And I woke up and I was actually laughing when I woke up because in the dream, all I was doing was watching all these people interacting and just laughing my head off throughout the whole dream, as if I was watching the comedy book from inside it. And I woke up and I'm like, that was the best dream ever. My brain wrote a sitcom. Best brain ever.
Oh, yeah. It's just weird, isn't it, when your brain messes with you like that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've died a few times in dreams.
Yeah.
Not very often.
I've been scuba diving underneath the big old deep
arches.
Trench. Yeah. Been there.
You see what I did there?
I did. I am impressed.
Never been scuba diving.
Yeah. So I've been diving with Jack Cousteau and discovering shipwrecks and all of that. Yeah, it's proper exotic, windswept and interesting stuff, mate.
I never tend to do anything too interesting like that, exciting. I'll tell you one dream I had. It was, what was it? I was stood in the street outside my house. And I have this dream occasionally where I'm stood outside and suddenly these, like, spaceships appear in the sky. But they're like a bit like out of Independence Day, where they come out of the clouds and they don't look like futuristical. They look like just normal, like rugged, dirty ships, and they're all like appearing in the sky. And I'm like, oh wow, these are real spaceships.
Yeah.
I need to take a picture, but my phone doesn't work for some reason.
Yeah.
And then they're all just appearing in the sky as if like some big invasion fleet or something. Or
and
just
you're
some
trying to
fleet of some
tell
sort.
everyone what you saw, and no one's believing you. And it was there. Look. I've got a photo of the phone, and there's no photo.
Well, usually there's other people there, and we're all watching it. And then for some reason in this dream, at some point, there's like something, like a component of ship falls off, or some ship explodes or something as it's coming through the sky, and all the bits start falling down, and one falls towards me, but just misses. I'll have that moment of, it's not going to hit me, I'll be fine. But I always like that, because it's all these ships just appear in the sky, and it's like, right, there's aliens for you, they exist. Oops. But yeah, I don't tend to do any like daring do adventure type dreams, sadly.
Oh yeah, I've been a superhero and all of that, mate. It's proper exotic. It's like, yeah.
I sometimes get dreams where I've got a weapon of some sort, like a rifle or something. And sometimes it's a laser rifle, and it's like I'm firing it, but it kind of goes pew, and this little line comes out, like hand-drawn line comes out and goes across the room. And sometimes I get a dream where I'm just like in some kind of combat situation. I'm just shooting, but I'm just killing bad guys.
Yeah.
And everything works. There's no equipment malfunctions. It just works. I'm like, yes. But I will admit, it's getting quite tricky now, because I'm trying to get myself back to a normal sleep schedule.
Yeah.
Like, you know, get up at 9 and go to bed at 1.
Yeah.
But I'm stuck with Mama Fox's routine at the minute, which kind of knackers it a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's really hard, because I'm waking up set my alarm for 9 o'clock. I'm going to bed at like 2 or 3 in the morning. Set my alarm for 9, and when I wake up, I'm like, yeah, but I want to go back to bed because I was having brilliant dreams. And I end up going back to sleep.
Yeah.
To the point now where I'm sleeping through my alarm, and I've never slept through my alarm. But I am lately. I'm just sleeping through it. I'm like waking up and it's like 2:15 in the afternoon. I'm like, what? Shit. Das ist nicht richtig.
Yeah, that's my thing. My alarm is a flasher. Because obviously I don't hear the alarm.
But if you've got your eyes shut and you're asleep, you're not going to see it, are you?
Yeah, so I have a lamp next to the bed.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got like a bit like a car aerial extender. So when the alarm goes off, it shines a light in your face, basically.
Oh, I like that. Like a big spotlight.
Yeah. So...
See, I do that when I wake
Same with when the doorbell goes, it flashes the light in the lounge.
What you need to do is get a recording of a goat screaming.
Yeah, but if
And
she
just
catches
have
me
it really loud.
If she catches me recording her, she'll beat me up.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Woo.
Yeah, now I realise I just did that live on the interwebs, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah, with all those people watching. I haven't heard the shower yet. But it's a bit early, I suppose, isn't it? No, but it's only been 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'll give it a ring in a minute.
Only give it a ring. It's only been 10 minutes, so. Bibbidi-bobbidi-bobbidoo, diddly-bibbidi-bobbidoo. There you go. What do you reckon to that Scully boy behind the gun turret? It's kind of hard to see.
Can't see it. Oh, there it is.
It's kind of hard to know where the camera. I can't really get it. The camera's in the wrong place now, unfortunately. It's all dry brushed.
I like that. I like that a lot.
As good as I can get it on this camera at the minute.
Yeah. Mind you, I'm the fine one to talk. I've probably been off shot most of the night.
I've just got my camera low down, so I can't get the stomper down there to where the camera is. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. I could just move the camera, of course, it'd be a lot easier, wouldn't it? But then.
Yeah, but that would be logical for us too, and we don't do logical, do we?
Logitech, what? There you go. That might give you a better view. I don't know if it's in focus or not. All dry brushed.
Yeah, I like that. That's mint, mate. I've just been doing bits of chipping, mate. Oh,
Let me full screen you.
bits of chipping in a few places. He says, looking for places that are showing up that have actually chipped. Oh yeah, a little bit round the edges on the thing now.
Chipping all the things to things.
Just dirtying things up a little bit, buffing down some of the decals, not all, because some of the panels are newer than others.
Yep.
Started
So much
chipping the grot tank as well.
So much dirtying up to do on these things, though.
Oh, mate, it's only the first stages, mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting there. Not sure what to do with the panel lines yet. Out to dish them out, because I don't want to put a black pin wash in there because it's going to be too in your face.
No, I'm gonna with mine. I am going to use streaking grime. I don't know which one yet though. Maybe just engine grime, I think.
Yeah.
And what I'll do there is just I'll either slap it all over and then work it all away, or I'll put it into all the recesses like a really messy panel line wash and along all the edges and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I normally do.
Yeah.
And then use it to make streaks and fill in the recesses.
Let it find its own areas it wants to flow, and then just drop a few streaks down from it. And
yeah. Or do a dot filter. I might do a dot filter.
Yeah, I don't want to do anything
first.
too start. I mean, it's too early to even think about it, really. I've still got all my rusting to do and bits and bobs, but yeah.
No, I mean, I'm not a big one for panel lining. I tend to prefer to let the weathering do that. Like
exactly. It's one of them, innit? There's going to be shite between the panel lines. You know, it can be something as simple as Starship fill for a bit of Starship base sludge, anything like that. But I certainly don't want to put a black pin wash in there because it's just going to look, cartoony. Cartoony, he says, with a Technicolor bloody stompa.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like the streaking grime stuff, like the engine grime and stuff, because it's a murky, mucky colour, but it's not black, and you can if you're doing a streaking layer anyway, just put it on, and then you do your streaking, but it's left in the recesses just by default. So I'm gonna do. I'm not sure about all the washes on mine. I know I'm gonna do on the checkers. I've got to do some. I've got to dry brush the white a little bit to fade the blue.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to put a couple of layers, carefully applied layers of Agrax Surshade around the edges to shadow around the edges so it looks a bit less than just flat blue and white.
Yeah.
And I'll carefully do that so it just makes it look a bit dirty, but not as a weathering, but just to, it's hard to explain really.
Yeah.
It just kind of unifies it all and gives it a feeling of depth. It'll mostly be around the edges, almost like a vignette around the edge kind of thing. On the metallics, I'm going to do on the silvers. I'm going to do some Null Oil and some Agrax Surshade to give a rusty effect.
Yeah.
So I will do some shades on those. On the rusty red metals, I'll do some and on the silvers, I'll do some Fuegan Orange or some of the other. What's the other one? Fuegan Orange or what's it called? Cassandora Yellow. They're good. Cassandora Yellow is a nice bright orange shade, and it'll really make the orange rust pop.
Yeah.
So it really oranges up the rust, basically. That skull still looks like it's just painted rust colour. God damn it. I'll have to put some actual proper yellow in the middle, I think.
Is it going to bug you now?
Yeah. It looked great on camera. It looked like hot lava, but it's not. It's just...
It looks really gorgeous on camera, mate.
But it doesn't look like that at all. It's not actually what it looks like. Well.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm just going to put some Lamia medium over the decals to protect it.
Lamia medium, baddy. I need to put some rust back on that metal piece of framing.
All right to come off at 3 tonight, Fox.
Oh yeah, that's fine by me, buddy.
It's just obviously I've had medical stuff today, and I just want to be on the side of caution. So,
mate, it's your show.
I know, but
you can stop whenever you want to stop.
Conscious that it's a shorter show tonight, but I do have a legitimate reason, folks.
No. Hey, 2 hours is good. 3 hours is good.
Yeah. So,
Right, let's see if we can build this rust. I've got so many dry brushes tonight. See if we can build this rust back up quickly.
yeah, and I bet none of them are as bad as the one I had.
No.
No.
That's not actually physically possible for me to do that.
Yeah, I'm just a brush abuser, mate.
You are.
I had a brush once. His name was Basil. He died.
He wasn't my friend either.
Bye-bye, Basil.
Bye-bye, Basil. Trying to build up the rust colour now is difficult because I'm never going to match it. It's tricky.
It's
I like the fact
tricky.
I like the fact when I'm doing rust that I don't have to clean the brush off between different colours. I just slap it all on. Mix and match. What was I going to say?
Decalage.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter if it's not a short show. 3 hours is still a long show.
I know, mate.
Don't you worry about that. And the folks love you for it anyway. That is the rubbish version of. I need a better.
I know.
I've really got no more Rhinox hide. That can't be right.
You found a bottle of it last week, didn't you? And you had to shake the bejesus out of it because it had gone a bit scuzzy. Was it
Was that Rhinox hide? No, that was my Avalon Sunset.
Avalon Sunset. Okay.
I appear to have. Oh, I guess I need to order some Rhinox hide.
Paint order. Forge World.
One pot. I'm not going to Forge World for one pot of paint. Can't believe I've got that low on Rhinox hide.
Just thought I'd lull you into a false sense of security there.
There's no security when you and me are involved. And Forge World
know.
Or Games Working Shop.
It's funny, the other night I was sat here and I thought, you know, I might go and have a look at Forge World, and then I thought, no, don't. It won't end
Bad
well
move.
for you, mate.
Yeah, bad juju.
All the mocking would start.
I wouldn't mock you at all.
shoulder and Sigh on the other. Fox going, do it, and Sigh going, you can get it cheaper somewhere else.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that model though, would it?
No. So yeah, I had
Why'd
Angel
you buy-
and the
why'd-
Devil.
Why'd you buy that model on Forge World? Because I like that specific model. And because when I sell it,
Just going to
I'm likely
mute.
to sell if it's. Yep, you're going to chase her up. So I'm trying to match this rust colour for this bit of framing behind. I know you can't see it. This bit of frame behind that bit I've painted white. Because obviously the dry brushing went a bit awry. So look at chat. The worst dreams are when my mum or dad are calling for me, says Rabbit. I had a dream when I was 6 years old and was crashing in a plane. It turned out I fell out of the top bunk bed. I have a recurring frustrating dream where my hand is stuck in a sleeve or glove and I can't push through it. I have that. Usually when I'm asleep on my arm, I also wake up in my dreams over and over too. Yeah, like you're trying to... Your arm's stuck, or sometimes you're stuck under a duvet or a sheet or something. I have that sometimes. And you can't push your way out. I used to have a dream when I was very little. I classed it as a nightmare, but it wasn't anything scary. But it was basically, imagine a wall, and the wall is covered in ivy. And you're looking like on a TV screen, so you're seeing what the camera sees. And the camera is slowly moving towards the wall with the ivy, but it's also rotating like that. So it's kind of going like this. And getting closer and closer and closer to the camera. And that used to wake me up in a cold sweat when I was a kid. I don't know why. I don't know what it meant or why I had it. But it probably adds to why I hate ivy. I hate ivy so much. Ivy is the bane of my existence. Because it messes up the garden.
Ellen hates birds.
I hate birds. Why, do they wake her up as well?
No, she's just petrified of them.
My brother's scared of birds. I've never understood that. Birds are awesome.
Yeah, she, I think, watched the Alfred Hitchcock film when she was young.
Oh, yeah.
And I
That
think
would
it
make
kind
sense.
of just stuck in her head. So, me being me, I thought the best therapy would be to take her to Trafalgar Square. Can you imagine how that went?
Yeah, he didn't need crutches till he did that.
Yeah, I thought it was a good idea, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that, because I like the birds are cool.
Yeah,
It's like I understand being like not liking things like creepy crawlies and spiders and things, but I never understood things like being afraid of mice or birds, because they're fluffy and harmless, and they're not there to do you any harm.
no, I don't mind them. Don't you know? It's,
I like birds. Birds are awesome.
you know.
They're also good comedy relief if it's a wood pigeon, because they're idiots.
Yeah, stubborn little gits, aren't they? Larry, they are.
Best thing you can put in your garden is have some wood pigeons and get one of them like archways. You know, you get them archways where it's like a metal archway like that.
Underneath
just
the archway.
But imagine it's just like, you know, you get this like you get the little metal. They're all smooth and it's plastic coated metal, and it's just posed so that climbing plants can grow over it. But watching the wood pigeons land on that to then get onto the food table, they land on it and they just go down this, because they can't. There's no flat bit. It's a smooth steel tube with a plastic coating. They just go and slide down it, and they never quite figured out how not to do that. The answer, of course, was just not to land on it, or just land straight on the food tray. You muppet. Yeah, they do provide endless comedy relief to the wood pigeons. The only bit I don't like is the feral pigeons that hang around. I don't like feral pigeons. Are boring. I don't like that.
Yeah. Pigeons, because they're feral.
Pigeons. I don't mind wood pigeons because they're quite adorable, even if they're stupid. They're like the stupidest dinosaur that just evolved into birds.
Yeah.
It's like you have all your raptors and your hawks, and then you have like the wood pigeons.
Hawks.
Yeah, that they missed out on Brain Day, clearly.
Give that a bit of Larry. I mean, EC Idaho's in, saying hello. Hello, EC.
Hello, it's Idaho. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the madhouse.
Willkommen auf dem Livestream gefahrten mit Sie Shouting und Sie Sticking und Sie Painting. Ja, das ist richtig.
Things you have missed this evening. You have missed Fox doing his beatbox.
Didn't miss that bit.
That was actually pretty good. I'll give you that.
Bit of bass in there for you as well.
There or thereabouts. Okay.
What else did he miss? What else has he missed?
That's it, really.
Just that.
Yeah.
You missed me beatboxing and everything else wasn't important. There you go.
Exactly. That's the key. You've missed Fox beatboxing.
Yes. Just goes to show what such deep and wide-ranging conversations we actually have on these shows. The important bit you missed was me beatboxing. Everything else,
Yeah. I mean, for a moment we started doing modelling, but we both thought better of it, didn't we, mate?
Yes. I've been knocking the camera non-stop all night. It's very exciting.
Yeah, I've been doing that. Mind you, though, at least you haven't had to worry about your microphone.
Microphone. Yes, I have to give I've given them all to Colin already, but I publicly have to give Colin bigly thank yous, because he put me onto the gimbal. I need to giblet then. The giblet that this camera is on, which is brilliant because I can now just screw my webcams and my camera cams thing. He got me onto these little grabby things for my iPhone.
Yeah.
That matched the movement. I'd walk a million miles for one of your smiles, so that means I don't have to worry about. I've got one clampy hand for my iPhone. If it breaks, I'm knackered. And he also put me onto a couple of boom arm attachments, and I've got my microphone up here. You can see, if you could see it, but you can't because it's not hanging upside down now. So my camera is now no longer attached. The microphone is now no longer attached to this bench, which means I can go like this on the bench, and it's not. Every time I put a paint
everywhere, is it?
Yeah. Every time I lift my pot of paint up, it's not making a big thumpy booming sound that you all used to love so much. But now I can more easily forget where the camera was originally. I don't know.
Well, it just makes it a lot easier for you, doesn't it?
Yep. And if there's one thing I like, it's laziness and easiness. And slight wheeziness. I've added some rust to that. I'll take a picture and put it in the thing later on, so you can have a proper look-see with your eyes of looking. I'm going to go through all my dry brushing brushes tonight, aren't I?
You are.
When I was a kid in the 1990s, I wasn't a kid, but anyway, in the 1990s, of a Sunday, I used to get up about. I was early 20s, so about like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
But I remember my dad used to watch something downstairs, and he was a bit deaf in one ear, so he used to have the TV quite loud. And I need someone to find out what this program was, because I think it was called Vox Pops, and it was on ITV on a Sunday morning. But it just, all I remember how was lying in bed in my room, and downstairs I could hear this, like, it had a little sting of music between each thing on the program, and it was just like a doo-doo, 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 and I don't know what it was. All I heard was the bassiness of it from downstairs, and it stuck with me. And to this day, I've never found it to actually hear what it actually sounded like. I never know what it actually sounded like. So, there you go. This might not really come out on microphone, but this is one thing I like doing. You ready? A bit of beatbox magic.
Yeah, go for it.
Ready? I don't know if it worked. It's like when you open a car door. It's...
Oh dear, you're mad, you are.
I am.
You need to get out more.
I do. I used to sit there and like try and out beatbox my drum machine when I was a kid. I'd like put it on like bossa nova. Let me try out beatbox it.
See, this is the life of Fox. Yeah.
And you get one of them old like Dr. Rhythms from the late 80s, and it's only got like a bass snare and a hi-hat, and it's all fake, so it's like it's like dead simple analog drum machine, isn't it?
All right.
And I used for some reason, I was always asked when I used to hang around with various friends, they used to ask me to do impressions of my drum machine, going through all the sounds. Because if you've ever had a drum machine, you've got your drum machine, and you're trying to find the right, let's say you've got a drum, you're setting up a drum kit, and you've got like 1,000 different cymbals and 1,000 different snare drums, 1,000 different toms, and you might want a specific tom set for your drum. You're setting up a drum kit, you might want a specific snare.
Yeah.
And what you'll do is you'll press the key down, and you'll just go through each one by one to find the right one.
Right, yeah.
So you hold down the bass key, and you say, right, and there'll be like 100 different, say, snare drums, and you'll be like, and you'll go through it trying to find the right one. And it'd always be like going through the tom drums going, because it's like different sounds, but they've got 3 toms on each set.
Yeah.
It's yes, I don't know. Nice. I know far too much about drum machines.
Right, well, I'm going to wrap up for the night because it's 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
So I'm going to do as I'm told and have an early one.
Yes.
So I'm going to leave it there with a bit of weathering and chipping done for the evening. You're back Savro, is it, mate? On your channel?
I hope. Yeah, theoretically, I shall be back at about 5 o'clock with some cyberpunks.
Oh, nice. Played real slow.
If you can come along and watch, Col, you might enjoy it.
Yeah, I'll still be up, mate. I'll pop along.
You don't have to come in for the first half hour. That's just me waffling and not doing anything.
That's all right. There's no change there then from what we do on here, is
it? Yeah.
Candy Grant says, thanks for the live stream. Take care, everyone. No worries, mate. Thank you all for joining us too. It always means a lot that you come in, spend your time with us.
Yeah, I don't understand why, but we love it. We love you for it.
Sorry, it's a bit shorter than normal, but I just need to take it easy today.
3 hours is good, mate. Don't worry about it. 3 hours is what I do. So
you know what I do. I just stress though, don't I?
They get what they're given. They love it anyway.
Absolutely. And then we'll be back Sunday for the Sunday brunch. It's gallery show this week, folks. First show of the month. Then we'll be back for Warhammer Sunday for a bit more on the Lehman Russes.
Lehman Russ.
So until
Much more
then,
chipping.
folks, look forward to seeing you then. Stay safe. We'll catch up with you on the next one. Bye for
Take care,
now.
everyone. Adios, amoebas.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, 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 bye.